Dun, 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 dun. Fucking piece of shit desk. Ah, I need to turn on my shitty new headphones I bought. Sorry, there's no fancy intro tonight. I gotta hurry up and do this. God fucking motherfuck. How do you open this? I hate new tech. You can never fucking. Why is everything complicated for no reason? Can somebody explain that to me? Bro, what the fuck? Ah! How the fuck do you open this? Motherfuck! Why did I even push play? I don't even have this fucking motherfuck. Bro. It's pissing me off. How the fuck do you open this? Oh, there we go. Wow. Ooh. Fucking Chinamen, they're fucking shit. Bro. Okay, why is this not turning on? You gotta be fucking shitting me. Okay. I don't know why I decided to push play on this. It's not even like ready at all. And the computer's slanted. What the fuck? There. Fuck it. We'll do it live. People are sending me. Why the fuck people are sending me messages? I had all day long myself. People are sending messages. Forward. I've had all day long. Just now, people decided to send me messages. Or I'll send the link out. Alright, so while I get this set up, bro, why? Look at this angle. This is all fucked up. There we go. While I get this all set up. Perfect. While I get this set up, I'm just gonna let you know that this is gonna be a fire show tonight. But because I'm going to speak of why is IG? Hold on. I should have just not recorded. I don't know why I hit play. It was an impulse decision. All right. So I'm gonna ignore my phone. These people are just now messaging me. I've had all day long, and people are just now deciding to message me while I'm busy. Happens every time. Fucking ridiculous. They have fucking jobs and shit. I just now realized too that I don't even think my headphones are on. Oh my god, this is pathetic, dude. Oh my god. Oh cool, I have a delay. Yeah. This is how it'll be in the fucking show. So, alright, let's get into the first topic. Aaron Bushnell. Yes, everybody, let's give a round of applause for Aaron for the great noble work he has done. Alright, you guys want to see my Aaron Bushnell? This is it. Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! It's my Aaron Bushnell impression. Was that so funny? Aaron Bushnell. What a guy. America's hero. Aaron Bushnell, he's ex-military. While he was bombing brown people, he just now realized that bombing brown people is bad. And so he's like, you know what? I'm going to light myself on fire for a cause. And he did it. Now everybody's thinking, oh, it's the most beautiful thing that's ever happened in human existence because some mentally ill guy lit himself on fire. Like, you can see that shit every day in fucking South Central LA. Oh, like what did he do that was innovative? Nothing. All right. Sup, Noakes? How's it going? Aaron Bushnell. I think that's his name. Rest in peace to Aaron Bushnell. Dicks out for Aaron. I don't know. I don't have anything profound to say about it. Anywho, let's get into the next topic. That was my Aaron Bushnell topic. I don't have, if unless anybody has anything else deep to say about him, go right ahead. I don't. Let's get into this. So we have a video of Chris D'Elia, our favorite, on No Jumper. So it's two pedophiles on a podcast together. Isn't that cool? Talking to each other.
So
I don't know if the audio is gonna come in. Hold on. My computer is so far away that the display capture is not even on. What the fuck? Okay, so we'll have display capture. I don't even know if the audio.
okay. You want to know what happened to me in Puerto Rico? Okay. We stay at this hotel and we start to slowly realize that like a huge percentage of the people who are like hanging out by the pool and stuff do not stay at the hotel. They're paying like a fee to be able to use the premises, but they live in the area and they're mostly people who work in tech and software and whatnot. And they chose at some point, primarily during the pandemic, to move out there to basically save money on their taxes / create this like environment for their kids to be free and
need a
to be able to
producer.
play with all these other kids and everything like that. And once we start talking to people, they're basically trying to like convert us
it's a cult.
into moving to Puerto Rico. And I'm not gonna lie, it sounded pretty tempting.
Yeah.
It sounded pretty good.
That's how they get you. Wait, so they don't live in Puerto Rico?
They do. They live
Now.
a mile or two away because like the actual premises of this shit is like extremely expensive. The actual first person who started telling us this stuff was this girl that we're having a conversation with. This girl has 10 million followers on Instagram and literally lives in like a $10 million house in Puerto Rico, and just to save money. She goes back to Miami every single weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, to get fucked up, and then flies back, recovers in Puerto Rico for the rest of the week. And then she goes back again on the weekend, gets loaded, comes right back.
Is she going to die soon? So how does she
told me she pays 4% taxes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
4%.
She should be dead soon. But so wait, she that's not a life that ends well. But so she
Crystalia, I can't really see with my glasses. My cool glasses.
What did she do?
Shirt. He has okay, so he's got a shirt that he bought from Zoomies on. Pretty cool. A 4-year-old man wearing Zoomy shirts.
She doesn't even do like actual porn.
Yeah.
She's just taking nudie photos.
Okay.
Sexy photos on
It's
OnlyFans.
big business.
Not even getting drilled.
I think it's funny. Crystalia and Adam 22 are like those like weird like 4-year-old guys that for some reason work at or hang out at places like Zoomies or like Hot Topic and stuff. You'll see in the mall. That's who they are. So they can pick up on the teen girls.
It's wrong.
Does she do skits?
Maybe for promotion, but not that I saw. Her Instagram feed very clean.
Yeah. You don't yeah. Well, dude, there's enough people out there that'll pay for anything, honestly.
I mean, apparently she's found her.
That's great.
Because her house
you know
is
what?
so
Good for her. Good for her.
expensive. Yeah.
What about the Wi-Fi in Puerto Rico? I've heard it's problematic.
The couple of YouTube videos that I watched about why you should or should not move to Puerto Rico for a tax haven status, Wi-Fi, very, very big one that was emphasized.
Really?
It's going to be a problem
The
for
Wi-Fi is
you.
rough. I know. I was thinking that.
It is? That's funny. I didn't know that.
It's like
I guess
in the Caribbean
infrastructure.
Sea, dude.
Now, I'm talking to taxi drivers. They're telling me that there's like a lot of traffic jams. Shit gets shut down. Big power blackouts. All kinds of stuff like that.
Also, Adam 22 is wearing a Supreme hoodie in 2024. I'm just telling you, these guys are they're creepy. They're creeps. I'm sorry.
Well,
The
no
problem with
Wi-Fi
all
there.
those I'm sorry to interrupt, Chris. The problem with all those places too is that if the cab drivers and the hot dog vendors, if they get sick of it enough, like if enough Jake Pauls and $10 million Instagram girls come in, there's going to be a snap where they'll charge the mansions with machetes.
That is possible. There's a movement there called Go Home Gringo.
Right.
Ooh, that's the name they came
Yeah,
up with.
it's not, you got to get there now or never. It's not, this is not, because you will go on vacation here and it's good and it's nice. And when you get, this is a good vacation. The idea of a good vacation is you leave the vacation and you think, man, we should move there, but you don't.
Right.
That means you had a good time, right? Any other thing.
Also, I'm not knocking the boards in the background, but a couple of these I've seen in Zoomies. Definitely. The
vacation wasn't worth it.
As I was telling my girl, I was like, if we're still thinking that this seems like a valid idea in 6 months, then maybe it has some legs.
Right.
But right now, we're just kind of intoxicated by the fact. And think about it, our lifestyle there, we're staying at this hotel. The fucking beach is like directly outside of our bungalow, whatever the hell this thing's called.
Get into Chris.
An orgy 5 nights a week, that probably wouldn't have played so well on television.
So these guys, they're 6 guys. All 3 of these guys are 6 guys. And this guy is a degenerate. Adam 22 is a degenerate. He makes his lifestyle. Chris is degenerate. However, Adam 22 and possibly this guy too. Well, specifically Adam 22. He's kind of comfortable with himself. He's used to. He does degenerate activities every day. He's used to it. He's unfazed. But Chris D'Elia, on the other hand, he's like a recovering sex addict, and so he's trying his hardest to stay loyal to his wife, not sleep around like he used to, and so this is probably. I'm surprised they're even talking like this in front of him, knowing his history. He's probably having a really hard time here.
But then again, at the time, there was the Jersey Shore.
Right.
So Chris, I guess, comes up there with a camera crew one night when we go out.
His face. I can't zoom in right now, but his face is. I'll make this a bit bigger. There you go. His face. Look at his face. He's like, really, guys? You're talking about this? Like, do you even know me? Do you even know me, dude? Dude, like, I'm the fucking youngest man alive. Dude, fucking life rips. That's how he talks. Dude, I drink so much fucking Starbucks. You won't believe it, dude. I just like I like teenagers. I don't know. Can't fucking. What am I weird? Yeah, it's Crystal. That's my Crystal impression.
To the Park nightclub in downtown Sacramento.
Jesus, okay.
I'm 18 years old.
Wow.
I get in with a fake ID, and I'm told that Chris was following me around with a camera while I drank vodka and puked.
And you don't even remember.
I don't even remember.
But you don't remember because you were so drunk?
Well, let's look at some of the other photos here.
Okay.
Can we scroll?
Yeah. So, but you're not you're not a fighter. What were you
He's
doing
a
here?
blue belt.
I'm a purple belt.
All right.
Put some respect on my waist.
That's something.
You're a blue belt, right, Chris?
Yeah.
So there's me and Uriah. That was my bed.
Okay. Wow.
Let's keep scrolling here. There's some more at the nightclub. This is me getting humiliated by a friend.
So I was there this night.
You were there. You were present,
Okay,
Chris.
okay.
Let's keep scrolling. There's more. This is me looking distrustfully at a woman.
Whoa, that's you. Yeah, in the middle there.
Cool hair.
That's me in the
Okay.
middle.
Yeah.
There's me.
There you are.
Maybe
There you are.
doing some problematic things to.
You f her?
I don't think I f***ed her. That's me at the beginning of the night. But then, Chris, you were probably in this house, like bobbing around.
Yeah.
Were you? If you were producing it, were you holding a camera?
No.
You look like a biohacker.
A biohacker?
Just like very clean
In
jawline.
2008, that was kind of the look, though.
Yeah.
I cold plunge in the morning, grounding.
That kind of thing, yeah.
I'm trying to like remember a memory there. I don't, dude. How many? But also, how do you have these pictures?
Well, Chris, first of all, I wish you would have, as a producer, stepped in and intervened when people were bullying my passed out body.
Yeah,
That's
I
you
didn't.
passed
I maybe I was not there. Is that you?
That's me on the lawn right there.
Is that a house?
That's a home.
You covered.
I didn't pre-screen this one because when I saw Chris Leon no jumper, I was like rubbing my hands together, like, ooh, this is too juicy. So far, not a lot of juiciness. But
Shopify helps you turn your browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout, 36% better on average compared to the leading commerce platforms. And you can sell more with less moment there of like, oh, this bitch is hot. She's fucked. Guys,
really?
with
That's
money.
wow, these guys are sex guys. Like, Chris is having a really difficult time here.
And fame that
and
I
guys.
don't have. And I don't know if up till that point in my life, I had ever fucked a girl who even had like enough status to have had sex with a successful comedian. Because prior to that, I'm kind of like new on the West Coast at this point. So like celebrity is kind of hard to come by when you're living in New Hampshire.
But 2012, was Chris that big back then?
I was already on TV and stuff. Yeah, I had 2 specials, maybe, or one or 2.
Yeah, everybody's favorite TV show, Whitney. Give me a break. I remember in the early 2010s, if you went to a movie theater and they had the commercials when we get in, it was nonstop ads for Whitney Cummings' old sitcom with Crystalia. That's how I first heard of Crystalia. That's the first time. I've never even seen that show, just those ads. They have the behind the scenes where they have the actors talking about the show. That's like my first introduction to Crystalia.
Damn, you got good fast, dude.
And he's like a dude too. He's like 40 He's like almost 45, and this guy just decided to get a neck tattoo. What is going on, dude? Like, I don't know, man. And you know what's really just sick about Chris D'Elia is he has. I'm not even making this up. He has the Instagram messenger, the Instagram message logo tatted on his chest. How fucking disgusting! That's like me getting a tattoo of the of Google across my chest. How fucking sick. Um, or the Instagram, just the actual regular Instagram logo on my chest. Um, if I ever get a tattoo like that in my life, uh, please, Aaron Bushnell me.
Sorry to take away from the sex story.
It happened quick, yeah, but no, but that's hilarious. But now I would argue.
What is the worst show ever? This one, or No Jumper, or Whitney?
You, bro, you're that guy. It does. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, my dad's proud too of my YouTube channel. He's like a very conservative, like white
Jesselnick, I mean, this was one night. This is in one night for $20.
Yes.
It's like you go see any of us on the road. It's 40, 50. What?
5 little talking points that I've been able to assemble into a video. I exited out of that video like very quickly because I was so not going for it.
I did this. I'm sorry, Chris. I saw one about Bert Kreischer, and I was like, I have to see if I can recreate this. I went to ChatGPT and said, write a negative essay about Bert Kreischer. Indistinct.
They're talking about one of those YouTubers that write. They're not talking about Red Bar, right? I have to go back. I think they're talking about the podcast cringe, or that guy with the Jason Alexander Bravall pick that always talks shit about the comedians.
I remember Brian Callen was basically saying something that was kind of presenting himself as if he was super tough, and as if if someone said that.
Brian Callen is a fake tough guy, and is actually the worst. Brendan Schaub's not the worst. I think Brian Callen's the worst. I think Tony Hinchcliffe is worse than Brendan Schaub. Just saying.
That or did that to me, then I would go to their house and beat the shit out of them, whatever.
2017, I listened to that episode live of The Fighter and the Kid.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I fucking, and Joe takes it.
Who listens to The Fighter and the Kid live? You're a fucking sick person. You watch Fighter and the Kid. Like, you're like, I'm gonna wait. It's airing at 7 p.m. What a... I don't even think UFC guys like The Fighter and the Kid, do they? I don't think they do. I think they're above that. The Fighter and the Kid is like, embarrassed. Whitney, yeah, Whitney. I never watched the show. It probably was. Worst. What is the worst sitcom? I don't know. That's a hard question. What is the worst sitcom? I'm trying to think. I'll think.
Very literally, and is basically takes that as an opportunity. Yeah, and kind of like use it as an opportunity to tell Brian, like, you're not that tough.
Well, I thought that was Brendan Schaub and Brian Callen.
No, but he was there too, if I remember correctly.
Okay. Maybe I'm misremembering.
Brian Callen is the one who basically is perceived as saying that he's so fucking tough that he wouldn't ever let this, that, or that happen. And when I brought that up, Callen immediately gave me the context of it, which is that he was trying to make a joke.
Yes.
And like Joe and other people in the room.
Brian Callen doesn't tell jokes. There's these. That's what's weird about comedy right now. There's a lot of people that just aren't comedians. Like, you don't really have to be a comedian anymore and tell jokes. You can just go through the motions. Like, most of these comedians don't even tell jokes. Like, even Joe Rogan, who's been doing comedy for like 35 years, he doesn't tell jokes ever. He just kind of goes through the motions. Chris D'Elia is kind of like, I don't know. He does tell jokes. Like, he tries to be a comedian, I guess. I've actually heard Whitney Cummings tell jokes and have banter. Actually, it's a red flag when there's a comedian in a room of comedians and they don't like banter, like, dish out like boom, 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 jokes after a joke after a joke. one joke after another. When they don't do that, it's a red flag. Like Shane Gillis does that. Mark Norman does that. There are some other Joe Rogan friends, but like the ones that don't do it are like Joe. Ryan Callen doesn't do it. Brendan Schwab doesn't do it. And there's a lot of people like that. That's usually a red flag if they don't like have constant banter, constant joke. They're constantly joking. The Theo Vaughn jokes, so you kind of see who's. It doesn't matter if they're funny or not. It just matters like, oh, so this is the real comedian versus the real comedian. You kind of see who does it. I think I should do stand up. I think I should do it. It'd be a lot funnier than any of the open mics. Well, it'd be a lot fair too. I'd be a lot funnier. I have done stand up kind of a couple times, um, in like school, and the thing is, in a very small audience in a classroom. The thing is that uh, the funny thing about me is I think I'd be really good at it because I've literally been doing like not necessarily live speaking, but like I've been publicly speaking um for like I've been doing like this type of stuff, constantly talking to an audience, constantly talking for so many hours for so long that I think I would be a lot more natural at it if I took a shot at it. A lot funnier.
Didn't really get that he was doing a bit.
I can attest to that's probably what happened.
And in that moment, it came off very different. And through this like 2-minute explanation of it, I was like, oh, well, that makes way more sense than the way that this moment had been presented to me by, YouTube commentary type channels or whatever, because knowing Brian Callen or having watched him over the years, he's not out here just telling you how fucking tough he is all the time. It would be kind of out of character for him to do a bit that was centered around look how fucking tough I am. And in that moment, I was like, wow, I've been kind of bamboozled by the people who create narratives for TikToks and YouTube videos.
Dude, so one of these channels that's proliferating right now, and it's my least favorite genre on YouTube. We're going to put Tom Segura, Bert Kreischer, or Andrew Scholl's face on the thumbnail.
Oh, I know a few
Say
of these,
the downfall of there's going to be an arrow going this way, and it's going to be about why they suck. Dude,
you're watching it right now, buddy.
It's the same people that Chris was talking about who were like, have a punchline. Like you watch and they're like, Andrew Scholes is losing his mind. 1 million views. I watch it and they're like, right here on the podcast, he's ignoring this guest. He's clearly a sociopath.
I love that you
right here he talks.
I watched this one too the other day.
This is definitely going on Red Bar. Holy shit. That's definitely who they're thinking of is Red Bar.
And I had the same exact reaction, which I was just like, no. Like the narrative that you are painting here, no. And there might be some truth to some of it. There might be some truth to like Andrew over laughing or Andrew being a little too aggressive with the guests or whatever. There might be some truth to that, but you are not going to fool me into thinking that probably like the biggest fucking comedy podcast right now is falling off.
Yes.
Just because you were able to isolate.
These people live in an LA bubble. Do you hear anybody screw the internet in your real life? In real life, do you hear people like, man, did you guys watch that Andrew Schultz podcast the other day? Man, he killed it. Do you hear that in real life? I don't think any of these guys are really as big as they think they are. Actually, like everybody I know in real life knows who Joe Rogan is, but no, I don't think actually that many people like watch Joe Rogan. They just seen some clips and that's it. I don't think that many people actually know about these guys or are actually into them. Not very many.
A couple of different moments from the podcast that you're so convinced that it's over. Andrew Schultz's career is over. He's filling fucking arenas with 20,000 people, whatever it is.
His last video is gonna.
The arena, those aren't fans. See, that's the thing. Like, it's with musicians, it's with the bands. These guys are. It's like with certain popular bands, like bands like Imagine Dragons and Foo Fighters. those bands do not. I mean, I bet there is fans out there, but they don't have they aren't bands with like fan bases really. When the shows you go to or what you see there, it's not like these bands, for example, are not like Taylor Swift or Kanye, where they have an actual fan base, an actual cult, not just a cult form, but like an actual cult around them. And where like the audience of like Foo Fighters and Imagine Dragons, those aren't fans. Those are people that heard their songs on the radio and have some disposable income and money and are just going there for a date night or to take their girlfriends out. The girls taking their girlfriends out. That's what it is. It's the same with Andrew Schultz. It's the same thing. It's oh, I know Andrew Schultz from TikTok. We have disposable income. Let's see Andrew Schultz. He doesn't have fans. Andrew Schultz is not like and like Shane Gillis is a good example. Shane Gillis has a fan base. He has a cult around him. It's not like also like even though a bit smaller, he's pretty big. Sam Hyde. Sam Hyde has a fan base. Andrew Schultz and Chris D'Elia don't have a fan base. They have people that casually watch them on TikTok. That's their audience. They don't have an actual dedicated fan base that watches and analyzes everything they do. They don't. Sorry.
Get a million views on
It's
it.
over because of these 5 little.
And these guys, they're like, oh, but it has a million views, so it's probably good. No, it doesn't. Quantity doesn't equal quality. Like, you've lived on Earth for double my age, and you don't realize that quality does not equal quality.
Talking points that I've been able to assemble into a video. I exited out of that video like very quickly because I was so not going for it.
I did this. I'm sorry, Chris. I saw one about Bert Kreischer, and I was like, I have to see if I can recreate this. I went to ChatGPT.
We were at a party, and I got so drunk that I fucking threw up on my friend's face. I threw up on Ari's face. Bert Kreischer. Bert Kreischer is not a comedian. He's a storyteller. A fake storyteller. He's not a comedian. Same as Joey Diaz. They don't tell jokes. They tell fake stories. Sorry. That's not a comedian.
GPT and said, write a negative essay about Bert Kreischer.
You might as well call Kevin Smith, even though he's written comedy films, you might as well call him a comedian. He does the same thing, but he doesn't call himself a stand-up comic. He just tells stories when he does stage shows and stuff. There's nothing wrong with that, but you're not a comedian, dude.
Sure. Indistinguishable from like 20 videos on YouTube. It was perfect. Like I could have uploaded this with a robotic voice and it would have been the same video.
Is I shared the same birthday as Bert Kreischer, and this guy saying these YouTubers are all like they're like Chat GPT. Red Bar is not Chat GPT. Sorry.
Oh, wow. Whoa. So wait, I guess my question is, why do you even click on that video?
Because they get so many views. Like that.
So you click because you're like, oh, this has 1 million views. I got to see why.
Well, no, I'm a YouTuber, so I like to see what's trending on YouTube and kind of reverse engineer it. But like that is, and I'm like me as well as Adam, as well as you. We've all been the target of YouTube hate campaigns. Sure. So like I also get like. It's like looking at a car wreck for me. I'm like, it triggers me, and I have to see what it's about. Interesting. But maybe that's why I hate that genre so much more than the average person.
Yeah, I don't click on those because of the same reason that you'll click out. I know I'll click out of them because you'll get that. I think. Yeah, I don't know.
I love good criticism, like good music criticism. You know, I'm a person who I'm ashamed to admit this, but I've been reading Pitchfork reviews of albums for like my entire adult life. Wow. I will visit the Pitchfork website because I enjoy people criticizing art.
He's a fag.
And there's been many times where I've clicked on one of these videos criticizing podcast hosts or whatever. And if I feel like they're doing a good, honest job, I mean, I love that kind of content. Sure, But as soon as it starts to feel like, okay, you're just looking for any possible way to take a really, really popular comic or rapper or whatever and put them in the thumbnail and create a narrative that is not really that tied to reality. That's when I start to be like, okay, this genre has really gone a little too far at this point, you know?
I hate when it gets personal too. Like when some of them, like, I remember there was some about Brendan Schaub, like attack.
You're just jealous. No. Why are we jealous of Chris D'Elia and Adam 22? Do all of us want allegations that we're pedos? Do we want that? Do you want that? Do you want to have a life where, yeah, you have money, but you go walk down the street and everybody's looking at you and it's making comments because you're a fucking pedo and like people making like, do you want that life? I don't.
Him for having CTE, and I was like, dude, that's different than you saying he's not a funny comic, which I like Brendan Shaw, but dude, that's so personal to attack the guy's mental state.
Yeah. There's, I mean, everybody's a real person. It's, but not online. It doesn't seem to be like people it's that whole thing where it's like, it's much easier to kill someone by pressing a button that will blow their house up than it is to shoot them in the face.
Sure.
Because you're disconnected from it.
At the same time, though, like the three of us,
the person still dies,
and Bert Kreischer and Brendan Shaw. I mean, that's kind of the price we pay for living like great lives. Yeah, it's a great life, and that's what comes with it.
That's true.
It's like the quarterback for the Patriots is going to get shit talked.
You're a comedian. I mean, yeah, I guess like they have cush life. These guys probably have cush lifestyles, but when have these guys told jokes? I haven't heard any jokes so far. Aren't these supposed to be comedians? Isn't that their job? Remember during COVID when these comedians, because they shut down all the clubs and they made these videos and tweets saying like, well, we're essential workers too. We bring joy to people. Give me a break.
Talked about it, and that's what he gets paid for.
Yeah. You're right. I mean, it is weird though. There are people that miss that somehow. They're just like, they don't get the hate. Like, every now and then somebody comes along. Like, I think about, if you take the really famous version of it, like Keanu Reeves, like nobody's ever said anything negative about him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
Chris
that's crazy.
D'Elia is so obsessed with Keanu Reeves. He wants to be Chris D'Elia has went on record and said, I want to be known as I want to star in action films and be known as an action guy, not a comedian. Chris D'Elia, an action star. The only action he's getting is at the middle school.
Crazy.
Who's a comic? Because we also open ourselves up in a way that Keanu doesn't.
True.
Who's like a comedian?
In my video so far, I've been telling jokes. These guys haven't told jokes. These are professionals. These guys are above me. They aren't even telling jokes. They're just crying. These guys are they're dumb.
It just is everybody loves. I'm trying to think right now.
Well, yeah.
I was going to say like Sebastian, but I still see people talking shit about like Sebastian's whenever he drops a new special, like, oh, he's gone downhill, not the same. And he's a guy who's just like universally loved and not controversial.
I like Cat Williams. Well, first of all, he's a comedian and he can't stand any of these guys. And I love Cat Williams. Sebastian's special is, well, I'm making a joke because he's talking about Sebastian. Sebastian's special is so bad you can't even find it on Netflix or Tubi. Let me repeat that. Sebastian's special is so bad you can't find it on Netflix or Tubi.
Rogan obviously got all his. I'm trying to think Trevor Wallace has a pretty good reputation.
Yeah, he does. However, he's not at the level where that happens yet. I don't think
he's about to be there. He's about to be there.
Love Trevor Wallace.
Super nice guy.
Yeah, great. Yeah,
I really like him.
Works so hard. Yeah. Guy's gonna be at that level for sure. I just feel like he's right under that level that gets that hate.
Yeah,
but in terms of like narrative building, which is what this is kind of all about, it's they will build Trevor Wallace up until he gets to the point that he's really fucking big, and then these different commentators will make it their mission to find moments. And as soon as there's a crack in whatever he has going, he has one bad interview with someone where they kind of clown him or they give him a hard time and he ends up looking bad, or he has a moment on stage where he looks like a fucking asshole, and that's when they'll really start to sink their talons in. Because painting Andrew Schultz as a failure or as somebody who is so far gone that he's clearly falling off, I mean, it's just so early for you to try to make that kind of, like, honestly, 5 years from now or however, there will come a
And well, okay. So when did Andrew Schultz blew up? 2019. How long has he been doing stand-up? Probably like since 2005 or something. Okay. Let's give him a few years.
A day where Andrew Schultz starts to get replaced by other comedians or other podcasters.
Sustain it. That is fine, yeah.
But these content creators are trying to speed run that process because they realize that if they're able to paint that narrative a year before, 2 years, 3 years before it becomes something that other people are talking about, then they'll be able to be the ones getting the clicks and the views, you know, which it's kind of like a sinister process. But you also have to be aware enough as a content creator to realize this is just part of it.
Yeah, and it ultimately doesn't matter. Right. Like, you know, like you know, we all made it. You're all fucking, you know, you're doing your thing. It's like, you do a show that has thousands of people in it. You're like, oh, these are actually real people. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I don't know. Nobody makes, I don't think people make the positive videos about people on YouTube?
This is really weird. People from LA, they have this weird speech pattern where they don't finish sentences. So they'll be like, so a sentence will be like, yeah, all this stuff doesn't matter. You have a lot of fans and they love what you do, and that's a good thing. LA person will be like, yeah, dude, you have a lot of like fans, and they love you, and they love what you're doing, but you know, they love you. That's how they talk. It's really weird.
I don't think they do.
Yeah,
they don't get picked up in the algorithm.
You usually have to like frame it in such a way that it kind of sounds negative. Like you kind of think that it's going to be negative, and then you start to watch it, and then you sort of realize like
this is too happy.
Yeah,
wait a minute. There's
like the creepier middle-aged version of me.
Nothing negative at all being said here. Yeah, I've had that many times.
I was listening to an interview with Ty Lopez, Mr. Here in My Garage. And he's actually a pretty fascinating guy. But one of the things he said is that it's better to be a prince versus a king. Because when you're Donald Trump, you're getting indicted 6 ways till Sunday.
This guy really referenced Ty Lopez. Here in my garage, my Lamborghini. Wow. This guy watches Ty Lopez. This fucking nerd. This Silicon Valley looking nerd.
Sunday, every girl's coming after you for fucking everything. But if you are a real estate developer in New York and nobody knows his name, you're fucking crushing it.
Interesting.
If you're Trevor Wallace right now, he's making basically the same amount of money as the top guys, but he's not fucking Bert Kreischer with a face that's photoshopped to make it look like he's crying on every YouTube thumbnail.
But you know, because
Bert's a king and Trevor's a prince.
You know what I've always wondered? Why do you have McDonald's? They get Supersize Me. They get campaigns against them. They got McDonald's gets more shit than anybody you could ever think of. Walmart, same thing. Why does 7-Eleven go? Basically,
there you go.
Nobody's writing hit pieces about 7-Eleven.
Is the fucking Keanu Reeves of
You ever see those fucking wings?
7-Eleven.
You ever see that pizza? There's a lot to criticize about 7-Eleven. Now, for the most part,
all hang out there. I hate the bums.
And you know what? You look at that pizza and a hot dog, and you see that in 7-Eleven, and you go like this. Whoa. It's a little bit like Keanu, dude. That's fucked up.
Like Bill and
7-Eleven is like. Have you had their spicy pizza recently? Actually, pretty good. Their pizza used to not be that great. They've actually improved on their pizza, I feel like. And it's actually, I think it's kind of good. Not gonna lie. Taquitos are good. They've been the same forever. Hot dogs are good. Yeah, 7-Eleven's actually kind of good. 7-Eleven is good. Convenience store food, they're good. What are these guys talking about? 7-Eleven's bad. Yeah, 7-Eleven is not a fucking LA French restaurant where the meal costs $1,300. Yeah, okay, it's not that. Yeah, it's not that quality. The funny thing is, I would rather go that but it's actually pretty good for convenience store food. There's a reason why they've been around forever and have Slurpees. It's longevity. Yeah, they're not the best food, but for convenience store food, for something quick, yeah, it's good. What are these guys talking about? They're so LA.
Ted, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know, but you want to know what too is that McDonald's and Walmart are American made. 7-Eleven is Japanese.
Oh, you did your research.
Well, it's not
I
Indian.
figured that out over the years.
Really? 7-Eleven is Japanese? I didn't know that. You know what's funny is 7-Eleven. See, I didn't think Japanese. I kind of got like a yeah, it's Japanese. I guess makes sense. It's funny they said that because not too long ago, I had a thought pop in my head where like depending on the 7-Eleven you go to, not all of them, a few 7-Elevens they have like an Asian store vibe. I was like, this kind of has like I think I even thought Japanese, like this kind of has an Asian vibe. That would make sense as a Japanese company.
Hey, 7-Eleven, but also 7-Eleven is so global. You go to Thailand, oh my God, you've never seen this many 7-Elevens in your life. Every corner and in the
We all
middle of
know why Adam goes to Thailand. There's only one reason why you go to Thailand. And it's like Patrice O'Neal had that joke where he's all like, he's like, what are you? He's like, guys that go to Thailand, not for sex, are they like, oh, I like looking at these beautiful dirty huts. Pedophiles go to Thailand. They're like, wow, look at these beautiful dirty huts.
the street, you will see a 7-Eleven.
You go in a 7-Eleven and then go into another 7-Eleven.
That's two 7-Elevens connected.
Yeah.
There really is an internship program going on for young
Adam's
men
really
at 7-Eleven, though. We had one on our podcast. We had an honest-to-God 7-Eleven employee who was an illegal immigrant from India.
Really?
And, like,
yeah.
dude, the second he got here, like, 7-Eleven...
They all have illegal immigrants.
And just hooked him up. They threw him one of those jerseys they wear as uniforms, and he's ringing up Black and Milds.
Dude. Well, I mean, the 7-Eleven employees, they go through it more than anybody. They're right in the middle of the hood. They're getting tortured by these dudes. Like, people are coming in every day trying to scam them, trying to rob, trying to steal, trying to put a gun in their face, empty out the cash register. I mean, those are the untold stories that we need to tap in with.
And they had to, there was a controversy, one right up here in North Hollywood. They were having to blare classical music to keep the bums away. And they were like, what's that shark song? That like kid song about the
Baby Shark?
They were blaring Baby Shark to keep the homeless off the premises.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Because you're a dad, you know how powerful that song is.
But then you get the that would just make the clerk start shooting everybody. Fuck all.
That's what I'm
Baby Shark,
thinking.
come in here, I'm gonna kill mother. Dude, that's crazy.
You're torturing the bums, but then meanwhile, the guy who works there is the one who's really got the psychological trauma going on. You ever have this moment where, just as long as we're mentioning kids, it's 9:30 p.m., the flight lands from Puerto Rico, and me, my girl, and my 3-year-old daughter are all shuffling along, trying to make it out of LAX. And my kid has not slept enough at this point because she's not really sleeping on the flight and stuff. She, like a 3-year-old who hasn't got enough sleep, is like a drunk, like a wino. Like they're just saying the craziest shit
the
ever.
You're just like, what the
Especially out of
That's a whole different bit. My kid said something that kind of sounded like that word the other day. But literally, as we're shuffling out, anybody who's left LAX in recent memory, there's a giant poster of a fucking monkey
rap music around a 2-year-old. That's how weird he is.
on the wall. It's like an ad for a zoo or some shit. And as I'm walking out with my kid says, "Dad, I eat monkey poop. I ate monkey poop." And like a bunch of other people who are walking out with me are all make eye contact with me and they're laughing. Because they're parents and they kind of understand that this is what kids do. They say crazy shit. But it occurred to me in that moment, like, I might not always be so lucky. I got to teach my kid to stop talking about eating monkey poop.
There becomes an age where where they're not 3 and they say, "I ate monkey poop," and if you don't curb it before that, they think like, is this dad really feeding his kid monkey shit? So you got to make sure that she understands.
So where does that happen? Around like 4 or 5?
Yeah, and then also if people who don't have kids see you, they might think like, what the fuck, you know?
I was thinking that. What if there was a an LA Times journalist walking alongside us,
Yep.
and that's his
And
big
there we
scoop.
go.
I'm gonna do an article
They'll
and tell
do it.
the world about this dude feeding his kid monkey poop.
Just some single 39 overeducated Berkeley woman who works for the LA Times.
This is a pattern Adam 22 does. He feeds his kids.
I've been seeing a lot of single women in Los Angeles who you can tell are probably like never going to have children and hate men. Just like walking like border collies on leashes.
Really?
Have you seen that type? Yeah, just like the liberal, overeducated woman who's single and has a dog.
Yeah, that's mostly not a happy person. I mean, I'm sure there are happy people with that, but mostly you could be like, hey, probably not a happy person.
That's one of my favorite stereotypes to run across is just like a grown woman who's clearly prioritized her career over forming any sort of relationship with a man, never mind having kids, and they're living vicariously. Well, they've replaced the kids and everything with like watching Netflix, maybe having some sort of like radical compassion for Ukraine or Palestine on Twitter.
Definitely Palestine.
Walking a unique dog around. That's their whole personality that they've decided to use instead of getting into a relationship and having kids. And you can see it in their face how unhappy this series of life choices has made them, but they're stuck.
And by the way, fun to watch Netflix and have a dog and do whatever the you want. That's fun. But you have 40 years left.
Yeah.
That is not fun.
Yeah.
You know, you're 40 and you are going to live till 85? That sucks.
Dude, like
Hey, but you know what? More power to you.
That's fun.
There's just a skewed view of the world, that type of woman. I was just on an onboarding call for a company, and there were a bunch of other influencers who like have this brand sponsorship, and they like the host is like just one of those chippers trying to not be offensive, like, hey everybody, welcome on. We're gonna go around, ask everybody what they like to do and how their January is going. This lady,
I just went on one of those for a sales job there, dude. What's your favorite superhero? One I went on a while back. They're like, "What's your favorite superhero?" Nigga, I'm fucking a grown ass man. Don't ask me about superheroes. We need to go back where we beat up people for liking superheroes. We need to go back to that society right now.
who's an astrologer gets on. She's like,
astrologist.
Did I say astrologer?
Astrologer.
Either way, I don't know what that is.
Astrology.
Stars, I know.
Oh, she's into astrology.
Isn't it an astrologer? That's what these are
G?
called.
Yes,
The stars on
and
the-
she gets on there. And she's like, "Oh, hello. I go by Ember, and this January, I'm just trying to come to terms with how awful of a place the world is."
It's the girl I had a crush on in high school. My high school crush. She goes by that now. I think she was in astrology. Could be wrong. She probably is in astrology
right now, and what we can do to correct it. And I just thought, what? Like, that's living in America in 2024. That's what you take away from what's going on, is that your life is miserable, much worse than the generations prior.
Yeah.
And you can't enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's kind of incredible.
Yeah, just go to a grocery store and get something nice to eat.
Yeah.
Just do that.
Yeah.
Hey, do that.
Yes.
Yeah, you're actually not miserable.
Yeah.
Choose to not be miserable.
Right.
Yes.
Go eat a Entenmann's.
That is a good point, though.
That's what I'm
is
talking about.
that people, which we'll get into later, people are so miserable for no reason. Even I catch myself. Like I catch myself earlier. I was like, man, why did I buy it? I didn't even spend that much money on alcohol. I'm like, man, why did I spend money on it? Then I got snapped out of it. I'm like, bro, one, it's not much money, and two, like, get over yourself. You have the luxury to fucking spend money on this. Get over yourself.
Yeah.
It's insane, dude.
Watch any movie you want without getting off the couch, without going to Blockbuster and being like, oh, Training Day's gone. Just buy it off iTunes for $2.99. Watch it. Hey, get awesome.
People fucking just legally watch movies. I crack it when people are like, "Oh, I pay for movies." You're a fucking retard. Pirate that shit. Pirate that shit. Watch it on Tubi. Tubi has the best movies. That's what's funny. It's Tubi's free, but it has literally the best movies. All your best classic films are on there. It's like, why do you need fucking all your foreign movies on there? Well,
all your cool indie movies are on there. Why do you need Netflix?
Acai bowl delivered by an Indian guy to your house.
Right.
And then eat the fucking acai bowl.
But I mean, the thing that's so offensive, and you hear people say this kind of shit all the time. I've heard girls say, like, I wouldn't want to have kids in 2024 because the world is so f***ed up now. Literally, when my mom was a child 70 years ago, black people had to drink out of different water fountains. You were going to be sent to Germany to fight in a well, not 70 years ago, but, you know, like a little bit further than that.
Every generation goes through
You're going to be sent to fight in some crazy fucking wars. That, I mean, this is like this painting of like modern times as if it's so bad. It's just fucking ridiculous.
Dude, it's going to be any kind of understanding. It's going to get better and better. Dude, there's going to be people in 100 years ago, people get the only thing that they're always going to be doing is getting sucked off and eating cupcakes, and they're going to be like, oh, this world's going to shit. Dude, it's awesome. It's only getting better and better, dude.
Yeah.
It's the cars are cool. The people are crazy, but you know that you get a nicer shit in your house. If you have a house, you have an apartment, you fucking nice apartment. You know, you get you can make it. You can make it. Everyone wants to be a victim.
So here's how it is right now. We've never been more miserable, and Louis C.K. had the immortal bit on this. We've never been more miserable. That's true through polling. That's how it is. People perceive race relations the worst they've ever been. Economic status, they perceive it to be the worst it's ever been. In the 50s, people always look back to as the glory day. People had less money. This is data. We had less money in the 50s in the Leave It to Beaver times, but people felt richer because there was no basis for comparison. You saw your fat neighbor who just got back from the Chrysler plant. That's all you know. You don't see Bryce Hall in Vegas putting $1 million down on a blackjack table with a smoking hot Argentinian chick next to him. That's so our perception is that we're poorer than ever, but it's not true. We're fucking richer than ever.
Yeah. Wait, Louis C.K. had a bit on that?
Right?
Yeah. Louis C.K. had a bit on that?
He's got the best bit ever. Like everything's amazing and everybody's miserable.
When he was on the couch with the Conan?
He did it there.
He did it there, but he actually does it in stand-up. Got it.
It's like you're flying. You're complaining about the Wi-Fi. You're sailing through the air.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I think Wi-Fi should fucking always work on an airplane, but that's a different story.
Yeah. Oh my God. I spent $25 on 2 separate flights the other day. So I had to spend $25 on the first flight and then another $25 on the second flight.
Yeah.
Same airline, same plane.
Yep. Oh, wow.
I noticed because they gave me duct tape because there's like a divider in the first class section between me and my kids sitting right next to me. And I wanted to keep the divider down so I could maintain a line of vision on it. So they bring me a fucking roll of duct tape so I can put the pieces and keep the divider down. We get off of the plane, we get some food, we get back on the plane for the second leg of the flight. I realize it's the exact same plane, and then I have to spend $25 again on Wi-Fi.
You do, bro.
Everything is the same. I want to get somebody who works for me to dispute the charges. I don't really see myself sitting on the phone with them, but
that's what they get you, dude.
That's the game. Yeah, you're at Eminem, and he has no idea that I took a shit in someone's yard before I met him.
How much FaceTime you actually go with him?
A long time. We were probably there for an hour and a half.
Just kicking it, talking about whatever?
So cool.
Any particular information you glean? Because keep in mind, I'm in the hip-hop world, and almost nobody, including like media professionals, including like the poppin' rappers from Detroit, almost nobody gets FaceTime with Eminem. He does not go out in public. He does not do anything.
He likes comedians.
He really likes comedians. He likes, you know, when I did that thing, when I did the impression of him, and then he was like, he retweeted it, and then they wanted to put me on the song where he played me and I played him, which is fucking still crazy, by the way. Yeah, I showed up in the studio, and he saw me, and he started rapping my impression of him, and I was like, what a fucking trip, you know, this shit, like this life is crazy. You know? And he was doing it, and then he sat down, we talked for an hour and a half. It was unbelievable, man. Like I got to the point where I was like, all right, well, I don't want to keep your time, and they're like, nah, stay. So yeah, and he was talking about, you know, rapping and how he came up, and critics, and how and his tour life. Like, I mean, we covered it all. It was crazy.
And you shook his hand without washing your hands. And you had just been clutching your own ass cheeks, pulling them apart in a squat stance in somebody's yard, taking a shit.
I don't think that's necessary.
You know what? I don't know.
That's how I'm seeing it.
I don't know. And I hope I washed my hands.
Right.
Yep.
But you might not have. And
All right. You should just like watch my stream on the stream. Like, stream session. All right. Okay, so we're going into very chit chatty topic. Oscar nominations. I'm gonna pull this up on my. Oh, I'm gonna close this out. All right. All right. So Oscar noms. I'm gonna pull this up. Okay, so I usually do this as yearly as possible. I'll probably watch the Oscar show. I'll try to. I don't even have TV. I have an antenna, but usually does not pick up the Oscars. So, all right. So this is just my prediction. Um, Here's the thing. I only saw 2 movies last week. 3 movies. Sorry, 3 movies. I saw Asteroid City. I saw um Boy and the Heron and Godzilla minus one. My favorite is Godzilla minus one and Boy and the Heron and Asteroid City were just okay. Um, I think they were low on the list for Wes Anderson and Miyazaki films, but Godzilla minus one was amazing. I did not see Barbenheimer. I will watch those movies soon. Both those movies soon. So anyways, this is my predictions for the Oscars. So, Best Picture, we got American Fiction, Anatomy of a Fall, Barbie, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things, Zone of Interest. And the Best Picture, I think, will be okay. So it's either hmm. I think it's gonna be Poor Things actually. Yeah, I think it's gonna be Poor Things because it seems like it's the type of movie that will win. Um, I don't know, man. I could see Barbie winning. I think it's I think it's gonna be Barbie. I think Barbie will win because um they want people to watch the Oscars, so they're gonna go for the Barbie choice, and it's pro woman. All right, so best director, we got Justine Tret for Anatomy of a Fall, Martin Scorsese for Killers of the Flower Moon, Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer, Yorgos Lanthimos for Poor Things, Jonathan Glazer for Zone of Interest. I think it's gonna be Martin Scorsese for Killers of the Flower Moon. I think they're gonna give Scorsese an Oscar. All right. We got Best Actor, Bradley Cooper in Maestro, Coleman DeMungo in Rustin, Paul Giamatti in The Holdovers, Cillian Murphy in Oppenheimer, Jeffrey Wright in American Fiction. I think it will go to Jeffrey Wright because he's black. All right. Next up we have Best Actress. Annie Bening for Ned. I'm gonna butcher a lot of these names. Sorry. Lily Gladstone in Killers of the Flower Moon. Sandra Hüller in Anatomy of a Fall. Carrie Mulligan in Maestro. Emma Stone in Poor Things. I think it's gonna be Lily Gladstone. She's native, and it's gonna be like the first native that won. All right, so best supporting actor, we got Sterling King Brown in American Fiction, Robert De Niro in Killers of the Flower Moon, Robert Downey Jr. in Oppenheimer, Ryan Gosling in Barbie, Mark Ruffalo in Poor Things. Um, I think it's gonna be Sterling Brown because he's a black in American Fiction. Um, best supporting actress, we got Emily Blunt in Oppenheimer, Daniel Brooks in The Color Purple, America Ferrera in Barbie, Jodie Foster in Ned, Divine Joy Randolph in The Holdovers. I think it's gonna be huh. That is weird. So, um, Margot Robbie did not get a nomination for Barbie as actress, but Ryan Gosling did as an actor. So this might be a different Oscars. You know what I mean? This might be a bit unconventional. I think it's gonna be Daniel Brooks in The Color Purple because she's black. Best original screenplay: Anatomy of Fall, The Holdovers, Maestro, Made December, Past Lives. I think it's gonna be The Holdovers. Best adapted screenplay: American Fiction, Barbie, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, Zone of Interest. I think it's gonna be um to American Fiction because it's written by a black guy. Best animated feature: Boy and the Heron, Elemental, Nimona, Robot Dreams, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Um, I think it's gonna be. Hmm. I think it's gonna be Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Um, best international. I've never heard of these international films, so I'm not gonna bother. Nobody's watched these documentaries. Nobody's watched the short films. Best original score: American Fiction. Oh my God, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Whenever I hear Destiny now, I think of the streamer Destiny. Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, Poor Things. It's probably going to be Poor Things, I think. Best sound: The Creator, Master of Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning, Oppenheimer's Own Interest. I think it's going to be Oppenheimer. Best production design: Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Oppenheimer, Poor Things. I think it's going to be Barbie. Best cinematography: El Condra, Killers of the Flower Moon, Mastro, Oppenheimer, Poor Things. I think it's going to be Poor Things. Let's see. Best costume design: Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Oppenheimer, Poor Things. I think it's gonna be Barbie. Best film editing: Anatomy of Fall, Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, Poor Things. I think it's gonna be Oppenheimer. Best visual effects: The Creator, Godzilla -1, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Mission Impossible, Napoleon. I think it's gonna be Guardians of the Galaxy 3. All right. This year, Godzilla -1 is gonna be like Lighthouse that one year where it was nominated but didn't win absolutely anything. Oh, this is funny. You know how they have the racial thing involved, the diversity rules. Now they've added people with autism and intellectual disability, but does not count it does not count autistic or intellectual disability people. Okay, got it. It should. We're gonna complain about it. Those are my predictions. I want to do my Oscar videos. Probably next week when it airs, like in a few days or whatever. So I'll talk about. I'll talk about it. Okay. All right, so we got that out of the way. Now I pre-watched this. We don't have to watch the whole thing, but we have to definitely watch the ending of this video. It's Ethan Klein debating with Jesse Lee Peterson. And it ends badly for Jesse or poor old Jesse. All right. Hold up.
Debate, to be honest.
Oh yeah, just to allow.
God. That's why all who are born through the woman born into hell.
So, are you for real?
I'm sorry?
Do you believe that for real?
Without a doubt, how do you think you became angry?
I'm not angry.
You don't have anger?
I'm an alpha male.
You don't have anger?
I get angry sometimes. Does that mean that my mom is the devil?
I'm sorry?
It seems kind of reductive to say, oh, you've been angry, which is a common human emotion. Everybody's felt it at one time or another. Anyone who's lived, and to say that it's because your mother is a Satanist or something like that.
And you're right. Every human being are born into hell, and that's why we must be born again of the Father.
I see.
You know, God said there will come a day when I return the children to the fathers and the fathers to the children. Every human being must be born of the Father in order to have perfect peace, in order to live on this earth in perfect peace.
Can a woman live a righteous life if their God is the devil? Do they have a shot? They can. So what do they need to do to live a righteous life?
They too have to do as the man have to do. They have to forgive their mothers for imposing her will on them and turning them away from their fathers and recreating them in her image. And once they forgive their mother, don't ask for forgiveness, but forgive her for what she's done. She could not help it.
What if your mom didn't do anything wrong?
Once they forgive their mothers.
Okay, so I'm going to skip to the ending. I'm not going to sit through this whole video, but I'm going to skip to the ending when Ethan accuses Jesse Lee Peterson of watching gay porn, and this does not go well. So they're having a good time. It's the typical. That's why I don't even want to sit through this. It's the typical. Oh, Jesse, Ethan's like, oh, Jesse, like, why are you so racist? And Jesse being like, you gotta forgive your mother.
Understood. You only had an hour, right?
Right, and I'm talking about my time.
So how much time do you have left?
And the gay thing is a rare topic on my show.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: you're not gay, right?
That's not your business.
Oh. But you make the gayness a lot of people's business when you discuss
I make it no one's business. Do you want to act like a man?
Do you live in hell?
Do you want to act?
Do you live in hell?
Do you want to? Hey, look. I put aside my time. I thought you wanted to deal with issues to help folks.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else you want to talk about? Because I don't want to play the woman's game with you.
So, well, let me ask you this, because I know
Do you have any other topic? One last time. You can talk to your brother-in-law Moses about this, and he'll help you deal with that and overcome it.
Jesse, why did you like this? Why did you like this tweet by Your Daddy OnlyFans?
Or forgive your mother. Forgive your mother.
He's giving a thumbs up.
She will.
Jesse, why did you?
So this is the tweet that Jesse Lee Peterson supposedly liked with these two black guys kissing. Here's the thing, Jesse Lee obviously does not run his Twitter account. He's like so old. This guy does not run his Twitter account, so this is really stupid.
Did you like this post from Your Daddy OnlyFans, part 2 with Sean Boy UK?
I have no idea what that is.
It's two men kissing.
I have no idea.
And they're muscular and very bear-like.
They really think that you're like running a Twitter and stuff. Like,
I have no idea.
Really? Wait, why wouldn't you be running your Twitter?
So why did you?
You really think he would?
Are you?
Is the producer? He is. What makes you think he is?
Oh, so did you like it?
Yeah, did you like it? Are you gay?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Bro thought he was cooking right
Jesse,
there.
this is important. The people want to know. Your producer got real quiet. What did he like the gay porn?
Cooking right there. The H3 podcast, all of these, like there's your crew members. It seems Ethan, Gila, they're these like millennials, these late millennials that want to be Zoomers, young Zoomers so bad. It's so fucking cringe.
Self-report.
It was one of you two. Someone fess up.
They're hanging up.
Someone fess up.
That's what you want me to do, so you can say I ran. But you guys said you wanted to talk about real stuff.
This is real, man.
Jesse,
this is a real tweet that was liked.
Jesse,
I really set aside
Jesse,
time
in
to
an
be on you,
expose
though,
by the
but
Daily
I had-
Beast, they said that several men had sexual encounters with you, some as long as 10 years. Is that true?
Say hello to Moses, buddy. I'm out. I'm out.
All right.
Was your producer?
Oh, he hung up.
Whoa.
All right.
Well, you tried.
That was funny.
Damn.
He really hates gay people, like really hates gay people. He kind of, I think he got a sniff of what we were doing when I mentioned something about gayness in the top.
You
It's
know
so
what?
funny all of a
This
sudden he doesn't want to
Ethan
talk
is
about
right.
it.
Yeah.
It's like
A slime. Who are the most slimy group of people on earth? We all know who they are. You intuitively, if you're scared to say it, you know who they are. You know who they are. Alright, so this video, I'm not gonna show. Okay, so I'm not gonna actually show the video because it's a Joe Rogan video and they're copyrighted. Whenever I show just a video of his, it gets copyright strike and will shut down my stream. So I have to just show play the audio. All right. Dude, I'm like really drunk right now. Shit. What does that say? You're just gonna hear the audio. Let me know.
The Joe Rogan Experience. And one of the hardest,
So
most
video,
worrisome.
I kind of talked about this earlier, about how a lot of people nowadays have anxiety. So much anxiety, man. These people, when I had anxiety before it was cool. All right, in the early 2010s, I had anxiety. I was diagnosed and everything. I had it before it was cool. Now everybody and their moms has anxiety. Motherfucker, if I had it back then, I could have made a TikTok. I could have gotten millions of views. I could have lived off of it. Imagine. So this video is about why is Gen Z so anxious, and yeah, I've never seen this, so I'll talk. I can go on for days about this topic.
Some parts of this
Let me know if the audio is not coming in. Let me know.
generation is that they have the lowest sense of efficacy. They report an external locus of control, meaning they don't think they can improve their lives. See, millennials thought they could do anything, right? They are the Mark Zuckerberg generation, and that's why we had so many.
It's true about millennials. I remember people back then making fun of millennials that they were like too like they put all their eggs in one basket, and that they were like overly like, oh, like don't open up that coffee shop, like that's stupid. But they had ambition. Do Zoomers even have ambition? Let me know. I don't think so.
Tech founders in that generation. We're not seeing that with these young people. They don't want to be in charge. They're
Bro, like, why right now? Like, you should have texted me. Why are you calling my stream right now when I'm fucking doing something? God.
afraid, and they feel they.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna try putting you on speaker. What's that? Yeah, I'm live. I have to. Can you call back? Yeah, I'll set you up on. I have to like say I'll call back, but on my computer because I'm on my phone right now. Yeah, I'll call back. Motherfucker, I'm talking about something. And then the viewers dropped. Because you fucking called. Alright. Man, alright, we'll alright. I also have this video playing. I'll comment while I get Zach.
They don't feel up to it.
Online.
I talked to there's a friend of mine I call every year on her birthday, and she's a research scientist, cell biologist, and every year she invites kids to her lab for an internship who are top kids, pre-med graduates from college before they.
I don't buy this whole thing that the research says we got some college kids. That's not normal people. Majority of Zoomers don't go to college. I'm so sick of this. That the college kids is the sample size. I'm so fucking sick of this. Why does Joe Rogan have these people on? Isn't he a Gen Xer? He should be smarter than that. You know what Gen Xers are? Gen Xers are fucking people that fucking. That's why the Clerk series is so realistic. Gen Xers are fucking these people that have worked at a convenience store for the past 35 years and haven't left, and they complain that they can't do anything with their life. They've had fucking 35 years. Fucking pathetic. Fucking people, dude. Fucking faggots. That's what I think of them. I gotta pee real quick, so I'll be right back. I'll play the video while I go pee.
They go on to med school. And she said to me in the last decade, when I called her this year for her birthday, she said to me, I can't believe you're writing about this generation. They are so different. And I said, tell me why. She said, I'm seeing the smartest, most prepared kids, and they're afraid to run their own experiments. They tell me they're getting ready. They're working on their skills. They're not yet up to it. And they constantly report to me about their mental health, how they're feeling today. They can't just take a chance and go with it.
It's weird because as a parent, like, you want to hear kids out, and when they're having like some sort of anxiety and issue, you want to talk with them and you want to talk through it. Sure. And you don't want to tell them, hey, you're gonna have to suck it up. I never say that, and I probably should. I mean, I don't know if I should, but I mean, if I had boys, I probably would. I think I would probably treat them differently, but I think that
this is also what I don't like.
There is
about these Gen Xers is they're literally the fucking cause of all this shit. Gen X is a fucking miserable generation. That's why we got the Kurt Cobains, the grunge scene. They fucking invented the fucking melancholy. They invented melancholy being a popular thing in culture, and these people are like, man, like kids these days, they're miserable. Motherfucker, you're the ones that raised them. Retards. That's you, bald ass Joe Rogan, Toe Rogan. Fuck you. Can you hear me?
I hear you just fine.
What's up?
I was just listening
about
to some
Toe
girls
Rogan.
About Joe Rogan.
Toe Rogan. That's what I call him. That's what we call him. Toe Rogan.
Oh, is that what we're doing? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I noticed in the group chat that you sent that video of his dad bitching about him. Like, what was it? I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't watch it out of protest. What was it about?
You have to protest it. What are you gonna do? Light yourself on for the video.
Whoa, hey now, topical.
I did an impression of Aaron. What's his name earlier? I impersonated him.
Aaron who?
Bushnell.
Aaron
I don't remember his name.
Jewish.
Something like that.
Is
Bushnell. Bushnell.
Is that the
Bushnell.
guy who set himself on fire? Is that his name?
Yeah, Aaron
His name is
Bushnell.
Aaron.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Very very elder Zoomer name.
I would not. I just wouldn't expect someone named Aaron to set himself on fire. So whatever.
I picture Aaron making like a being like a SoundCloud rapper.
Yes, very true. Yes. I just think of a Jew, but anyway. I'm gonna be eating my fucking dinner because fuck it. All right. It's just a burrito. I won't speak during bites, but I just wanted to preface that. Now, are you gonna tell me what Joe Rogan's dad did before I stop like pretending?
Oh yeah,
to care?
so I wasn't watching Joe Rogan's dad. I did that on the last stream, but Joe Rogan's dad said that Joe's a piece of his dad is also named Joe Rogan. But he's talking about his dad's a piece of shit because or no, sorry, his son's a piece of shit because he's been making lies about him, telling lies, and that he said that Joe's actually not a tough guy as you think. That he's sweet. He's got sugar in his tank.
Cute.
He called his own son a fat. He called his own son gay.
That's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Really doing a good job of like rehabilitating your like image of like being a shitty like cruel father or whatever by calling your son gay. Calling your son a faggot on a fucking like nationally viewed like podcast episode.
Yeah, definitely.
Him and his like fat do nothing sister, right? Or is that someone
Yeah, he has a half sister that yeah, well, that was on there, and she's kind of a whatever, kind of a nobody person, but uh yeah, she was saying that Joe's a bad guy because he abandoned the family, and the funny thing is, I don't think Joe's ever met the sister, but yeah, but yeah, so I was actually watching a different Joe Rogan video. I was watching it not because of him, because of the person on there. They were talking about Gen Z and anxiety and stuff. And that's the only reason why I was talking about Joe Rogan, because it was some chick on there talking about it, and it was just on that topic. It wasn't so much about the video, but the supposed researcher and I want to do on the show because it's a topic I like talking about a lot. But the the issue I have with the video is it's like all these because that chick on there and Joe himself, they're Gen X and they're doing the whole Gen X thing. They're like, why are our kids so fucked up? They're so depressed all the time. But it's like, bro, you're the ones raising these kids, like,
Right.
and I had to go on a rant because I'm like, you don't realize, and that whole like anxiety culture and stuff all came from Gen X. Like, think of like Kurt Cobain, the grunge era. Like, it was all about like it was all misery porn. Like, misery porn came from the Gen X era. Like, we're all miserable and like
They were
we're
more
proud.
glamorous about it though.
Yes.
I'm not saying that like that was better. I think they both suck or whatever, but they were romantic about it, and I feel like now there's more of it's romantic just in a different way. Now it romanticizes like therapy, and you wouldn't see like really like a Richard Linklater character talking about like therapy or something. I don't think.
No, Richard Linklater's a boomer.
Well, right, but don't the Gen X people?
But his movies have more of a boomer vibe, a late boomer vibe.
Do
they
they
really show? Yeah, they're more a little bit more positive. They're a little more like especially like I watched a rewatched Slacker recently. That's a very boomer movie. Like all the topics, like the JFK conspiracy is a constant topic in the movie. It's kind of late boomers for the most part are actually a lot more positive, I think, even more so than older boomers. They have more positive outlook, I think. Filmmakers like Greg Araki, or he's a late boomer. He's like the same age as Linklater. They have more of like a like their films. They have more, I think, of like a positive outlook, or like more of a goofy kind of. They don't really take themselves seriously. Like the Gen Xers, definitely take themselves seriously. Like yeah, especially if you watch like Kevin Smith's early stuff, like he really, especially like something like Chasing Amy, like he really takes, which is a very Gen X movie. He takes himself very serious. Um, as his, like the main character in that movie, he's not. Ben Affleck character is like obviously supposed to be him filled in. He's like, I'm a guy that's kind of different and nobody understands me, and I'm like, yeah, that's kind of a Gen X thing. And what I'm saying is that kind of mentality kind of started with Gen X, not so much boomers. Like I'm kind of different and I'm depressed and nobody understands where I'm coming from, and I'm so much like smarter than everybody. That's kind of a Gen X thing. Baby boomers don't really have that. Now baby boomers, they do butt into people's business. Like today, I saw a boomer guy in the store parking lot. Someone had was driving a what's that soccer mom car, a Subaru or whatever, and they had the trunk open, and this boomer guy literally, like, the person was driving off, and there was like the traffic and stuff. The boomer guy literally like ran into traffic. Just he's gonna try to close their trunk door. Their trunk door was open, and he was literally running into traffic just to close the trunk door. And but that's a lot of boomers. They like to butt into people's business and stuff, and um like it, don't do you work with the at your work? Do you work with the public?
In a general sense, yeah.
Yeah, so have you ever had, like, every job I've had, I've worked with the public, boomers, whenever boomers come up to you, they always have to like butt in and like kind of like tell you like how to do either tell you how to do your job, or like they butt in and get like really personal with you and stuff, and like um they want to know about your personal life, and then they'll like butt in and like even like critique it and stuff. That's like a boomer thing.
I don't see
Uh
that so much myself. Um, Sometimes people will, if they like I don't know, pick a fucking hanger up that they drop, they'll put a big show on about it and be like, "Well, I ought to get like a discount, or I ought to get paid for some of this or something," and they are probably ballparking it around that age. So whatever that says, I guess.
yeah, but yeah, that's kind of a boomer thing. They like to butt in people's business and stuff. And but yeah, I was just watching the videos. These Gen Xers talking about like where this depression, anxiety came from. It's like, bro, you guys like, and all the Gen Xers, all the Gen Xers are like divorced and stuff, and like or remarried and shit, and it's just kind of funny when they act like surprised that their child has some trauma. But
Hmm.
anyways, um, besides Joe Rogan, I don't remember what it was. Like what was it? There's something before that I was talking about. What's the Crystalia? Oh yeah, what did you think about the Aaron Bushnell lighting himself on fire? Did you think it was a beautiful act?
I was talking to CJ about it. I don't know if anyone here knows CJ.
Who's CJ? CJ? Oh my dog! That's a GTA San Andreas reference.
Okay. I was
CJ?
so fucking.
Oh my dog!
Hmm. Right. Anyway, What? Oh, right. All right. So the fucking Aaron guy. I think it was retarded, and if it's real, then it's just some
If it's
mentally
real,
ill. If
who knows? It's probably fake.
if it's real, then
It's probably a sign. It probably is. I'm laughing because it's probably true.
yeah. If it's real, and I won't be cynical, I'll say for the sake of argument at least, it's real. Then it's just some mentally ill guy who didn't want to be complicit in genocide. That shit really, what he said and his way of saying it struck me as extremely false and at best just sort of showed that this guy is not some sort of a brave, revolutionary or some shit. He's
Right.
truly just some mentally ill, like sort of pathetic freak.
Yeah.
Um,
It's funny because all my every show I'm doing now, my fits are kind of conceptual with the topics I'm talking about, and I'm wearing my Lynette Fromy shirt because I
you're,
knew I was going to talk about Eric Bushnell,
you
like
wait,
as a
you're where?
radical type person says, like
Oh,
I
I
got to
see, I
put
see, I
on a
see.
radical activist shirt or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, yeah, no, you said exactly what I thought it was. And there's a lot of people like um this is kind of a bit that's very split down the middle. Yeah, a lot of people are saying what we both, and I said what you just said earlier. And uh or there's a lot of people that are like, oh, it's such a like. There's people I legit have seen like think it's like a beautiful thing that happened. Like, oh, it's so like.
That's really their take. Do they think it's beautiful, or do they think it's
Yes, there's people that
powerful?
are like, oh, finally, like, or not finally, but like they're like, oh, like it. At least he went out in a good way, like, and they have that tone. It's not like
It's
it's not,
such fucking faggot bullshit, this whole
yeah.
revolutionary suicide idea. And
Mishima did it way
I
cooler.
see that fucking Huey Newton quote. Um I like Huey to a point. However, I mean, he certainly didn't die from fucking revolutionary suicide or something. I don't see why his shit's getting like thrown around at all, really. I think it's means pretty little, and the quote itself, I don't remember it so well right now. I'm not gonna try and recite it or whatever, is pretty much bullshit. I think that um revolutionary suicide is no different from fucking any other form of it. I don't think affixing some sort of deeper meaning to it really does much. All it is you're wiping yourself all out, from off of
Right.
the fucking planet, and getting rid of your if your mind isn't anything special, at least your body, which is whatever good enough to serve in the US whatever army. How about you
Right.
fucking cart your ass over to Gaza or whatever the fuck and shoot some Israelis or something if you want to fucking put your life on the line for some
This
shit
is
instead of
what
fucking.
it's funny because um I was uh I was talking to my dad earlier, and he said exactly what I thought of. That he said like, okay, so he had a my dad's like, okay, so he had an issue with um he had an issue with Israel and all this stuff, blah 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 blah. Like a lot of people, he's giving a good point, and because he went to Aaron Bush, he went to the he was in front of the what do you call it, like embassy or whatever the fuck. and he lit himself on fire in front of there. My dad said exactly what I was thinking of. And this is all in Minecraft. This is not. I'm not saying do this in real life. This is all in Minecraft. Is why didn't he just like go John Wick on like specific like people that are involved with like I just go like John Wick mode on these guys instead of just like lighting himself on fire.
Because he's mentally ill and suicidal.
Or like not just John Wick, like Rolling Thunder on all these guys. Like, why did he just? That's the thing. Like, that's too. This is what makes you think a lot of stuff is psyop. Is that like you notice they never like a lot, especially like this guy. He wasn't a terrorist. He was just um he was committing suicide or whatever for a purpose, but he like like if you go through history about like the other like terrorists and stuff like that and like Timothy McVeigh and taking a lot of these guys he actually went after civil, but like especially like a Timothy McVeigh specifically, like a lot of these guys they kill people and stuff, but it's always like people that have like no involvement with like actually what they're like against. And it's kind of like it's always like very curious. I hope the stream doesn't shut down. This should be like this should be like on Rumble, but yeah, like they never target like specific individuals, the ones that are actually involved with this stuff. It's always like oh, just some random, like let's say if they're killing somebody or whatever, or they're killing it's always like some random people that it's never the actual people involved or whatever. And the same with 9/11, like if you believe the official story, like the planes they crashed at, it's not even like people that were even involved with the people that are like against and stuff. And they do this a lot, and that's what also makes you think a lot of stuff is like a psyop in a weird way. Like yeah, they never target specific individuals that are involved, or they'll like do things like this guy like set himself on fire for what? It's kind of
To stop genocide. That's for what.
And here's the thing too, what he did is not original. They're saying there's that undocumented woman a while back that did over the same reason as him, was never talked about. And well, she didn't record herself or anything, I don't think. I think she just did it. But this is not an original thing or anything. This has happened in the past, especially during the Vietnam time. But yeah, I don't see this. Here's the thing, like, and somebody that has been through depression and stuff like that. I don't see. This is what's funny though. Like if I was like 19 or 18 or something like that, I probably will never. When I was like 18, I probably would never thought this guy was cool, but I would have probably like, oh, I probably would have been one of those people like, oh, I can see where he's coming from and stuff. But as I've gotten older and I've gotten out of my depression phase and stuff, I see this as like I see everything he did as a cry for help, as pathetic as like I don't see this as like I said, like a beautiful thing. I see this as a guy who was already suicidal, and that he choose this thing because he's like, in his head, his logic is like, well, this is justifiable. I'm actually gonna do it for a good cause, not just because. So he's like,
Right.
all right, I'm gonna do this for attention. I'm gonna go out and bang, pretty much. Like he knew this is probably gonna be talked about and stuff. He knew what we were gonna talk about. He knew it. And so that's what he's going to do. Is like, all right, I was go out with a bang. And so that's kind of how I view it. I don't see this as like a beautiful thing but you know what though, a lot of people don't, which is kind of interesting, because there actually isn't that much controversy around this. Like a lot of people actually are like, yeah, this is like obviously a mentally ill guy. Even I was watching the Hassan Piker even said this is like a mentally ill guy. Even he, who usually has those type of takes, was like, yeah, this is like a mentally ill Yeah, it was like, yeah, it is like it. But there's people I've been seeing on like Instagram and stuff. People like, wow, like rest rest in peace. Like he, at least he went out with a good cause, and like,
Good cause. Give me a fucking break.
like, what is he gonna change by lighting himself on fire? Like, what the fuck are you gonna change? That's what I was saying. Like, go John Wick mode. And by the way, too, your legacy. Imagine your legacy if you did that. Like, that's the guy. He points like that's the guy that went. Like, he would be like, what's that guy's name? The cop killer guy. He'd be like that guy. Where like that's the guy.
You don't mean John Mouse. What do you mean?
Oh,
Shut the fuck up, faggot. I don't know the guy who killed the cops.
You know that black guy, the famous black guy that people always, the cop killer guy. What's
There's
that
a
guy's
fucking
name?
joke I can make right
From
now.
10
It would be
years
so
ago.
funny to me, but you would just be mean.
From
I
10
don't
years
remember his
ago.
name. I don't remember his name.
If you saw a picture of him, you've probably seen his face. But people have memed him and stuff. He was a guy that was in the LAPD, and he knew about all this corrupt stuff, and so he just said fuck it, that he's gonna take these guys out, and he actually did. And um he's dead. He quote unquote, off he became a off himself, or became a in hero. He was an in hero himself. And
I'm sorry. Wait, who calls him that?
no. Have you heard the term in hero?
No.
That's an old 4chan term, in hero. Whenever
Oh,
somebody says who, they call it, say in hero, because in hero came from. I've been saying that to like avoid like getting banned off of things. It's a old 4chan term for suicide. It means uh there was this guy back in I don't know, sometime in the 2000s, some like teenager, he offed himself because supposedly, I don't think this is true. The real reason why, because somebody stole his iPod, and that this school, they made it, they had a memorial thing for him, and his best friend or whatever wrote a thing, like a memorial thing, and they were saying that he was everyone's my friend, he was everyone's he was no he said that he helped like a bully kid or something like that, and they said
yeah.
he was a an hero. They were supposed to say a hero, but they said an hero. And
Oh
for
my
some reason,
god, dude!
or
I thought you were saying like in hero, and I thought that was like, you see what I'm saying, right?
oh yeah, but and then 4chan started like they saw that, and like they mocked like the kid that wrote that, and it became a meme. It's still around. I see it sometimes. It's a very like early 2010s like term, in hero. Whenever
Okay.
somebody like, often they always said he's a in hero.
Okay, yeah. I I see. That's all right.
Yeah, it was like some like middle school kid that he was supposed to say a hero, but he wrote it as in hero.
Cool. All right.
It's stupid. It's very like 2000, like late like internet, like
Fucking retard! You said
yeah,
the wrong
yeah.
one. You said the wrong one. Funny as shit.
In hero.
Oh my
But
god. His best friend killed himself.
it was something like that. I don't remember.
You're bullying him.
They
for
said
his
it was
friend.
over an iPod. They stole his iPod. I don't. Here's the thing. I don't buy that. He probably had some other issues. I don't buy that.
Of course, not unlike our friend Mr. Bushnell. He probably had some other shit going on.
But Bushnell is like the perfect like in like the meme to use. It's the perfect thing to call him a in hero. It's like the perfect.
Really, really, yeah.
Because people do see him as heroic.
I want a fucking like freshman in high school to fucking kill themselves over Palestine, like at school. That's next up. Watch out for that next one.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't ready for that shit to drop.
Yeah.
The fucking the TikToks that will be made.
Well, here's the thing. I read somebody said this, and it's a really good point. Somebody says, I hope this becomes a trend rather than mass shootings. And you know what? I agree. That'd be way better because there's going to be people copycatting this, and I think that this would be way better if this became the
Damn.
trend. You would save lives, and also we would have like more like entertainment, like like it's
Entertainment. Yeah. Well.
it's a positive change.
I don't know, man. I don't know. What would you set yourself on fire for?
Nothing. I don't know.
Nothing.
I would not. I. Why would if I was ever like trying to go out, I would not go out by like fire. You know who's the only like justifiable guy that went out was Sky King.
What's that?
Remember that guy from like 5 years ago that hijacked that air? He stole that like
Did
airplane.
fucking Bill Burr do a bit about him?
No, that was that guy that Ryan Katz Rivera did it. That's a fake video. Ryan Katz Rivera does his Bill Burr impression, where he does his Bill Burr impression, acting. So it's Sky King. So he's doing his impression of Sky King, but it's like he's repeating what Sky King said in that video, but he's doing it in his
Richard
Bill
Russell?
Burr impression.
What's this?
Yeah. But Sky King was the guy that stole that airplane because he worked at
A broken guy got a few
airplane.
screws loose, I guess.
He stole that airplane and he just had like for like 20 minutes or whatever, half hour, he just had fun with himself riding around on his plane and he eventually crashed. But
into a lightly populated island. That sound right?
Yeah, he crashed on like an island. It was nearby or something. But yeah, and if you're listening to the video, he's not bright. He sounds like he's having a blast.
I mean, I'm sure. He was active in his church and a leader in the local Christian youth ministry.
And what's funny about that video is the way he talks. He's like he sounds like a surfer dude guy or whatever. He's all like, chill out, bro. Like he doesn't say that, but he's like, chill out, bro. He's all,
hey man, I got a plane.
Yeah,
I got a plane.
He's all like somebody because they're talking to him, trying to make him land the plane or like calm him down, even though he's not aggressive, but they think he's like going crazy, like gonna crash into and they're all like why don't you why don't you just get work as a license or get as a pilot at this agency or whatever, and he's like, this agency won't hire me because I'm a white guy. He says that.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, people have analyzed that video, and I agree. I don't think he was necessarily thinking. Yeah, he probably was slightly suicide, but I don't think he was doing that to kill him. I think he was, like he said, he was so depressed to the point where he's like whatever happens, happens. So he just decided to steal that airplane and just to see what happens. He didn't know he probably thought he's like, yeah, I'm probably gonna go in prison or die, or maybe I'll like actually like escape somehow. Like that's what it kind of sounded like in the video. Like he didn't know, and he took that gamble. Like he didn't know what was gonna happen, but he didn't have to crash in the plane. But yeah, like he kind of sounded like he was open to whatever happens. Like he obviously comes from depression, but yeah, and that's the thing about the video. Like he sounded like he was having a blast, and he said in the video he always wanted, because I guess I think he got some pilot classes or did all this stuff. He wanted to like fly a plane, but had somehow failed classes or he did something like that, and that he was happy. Like he always wanted to do that, like a dream. And so that's why a lot of people kind of view the video in a weird way as like a positive thing, because
That's the
he's
most
almost living
positive.
out. He's living out like he finally did it. You can't hear in the video he's excited, like he finally escaped, and like you can tell he's getting off on the what do you call it, like the walkie-talkie, the whatever you call it. I guess
The
it's a
lingo
walkie-talkie.
and shit.
Yeah, the audio
The
thing that
breaker type
the
shit.
radio. He's screwing on the radio. He's screwing with the guys, and you can tell he's getting off on it. He thinks it's funny and stuff, and that like he always like he thought about this. So it's kind of weirdly like a positive. It's kind of weird like a positive thing. Like he went out in a way where he had fun and stuff. So that's what I was saying. At least because he went out in a positive way, where he's having fun and stuff. And it was his dream versus somebody that was very negative, very very negative in a very negative way.
Right. Well, fair
I
enough.
have to pee in like 3 seconds. I don't know if you want to stay silent for 3 seconds or stay right in chat.
Wait. I would be. I'm sorry. Like, okay, wait. Before you go, you're doing a stream, right?
I'm streaming right now.
Well, go to the bathroom. Nah.
All right. I'll be back in like 5 seconds.
Oh, fuck. Oh, man. I'm gonna do something for Palestine, man. If anyone is here right now, I'm so sorry. Well, hell. Let me talk about my day. Well, I got up. I actually did something I haven't done before. I worked boom mic, worked the boom. I don't know what the lingo is for sort of a short film. My mother, who will remain unnamed, works in an unnamed position. And are you back?
Yeah.
Okay, I was just telling people about my day. That's all right.
Oh yeah, that Sky King video I was talking about. In
Yeah.
the video, he's all like, the one of his last words he says, he's like, I'm gonna do a barrel roll and call it a night.
I just know that someone's like synced up like free falling to some of his shit or something.
Yeah. Oh, all right. We got some viewers in here tonight. Wow. Do you want to finally talk about girls chat?
Yeah, all right, sure.
All right.
So
Did you watch my last? Did you watch any part of my last video, or did you even watch my last video where I actually talked about girls chat briefly?
I didn't watch it yet. No.
Oh.
I don't like supporting my friends in their endeavors. It's not really my style.
Well, first of all, explain what girls chat is. People are gonna be like, "What is that? What?"
Well, I know. Well, girls chat is a now ended, ever mysterious podcast hosted by these two, for all intents and purposes, feminine hermaphrodites, sex workers who are in a.
Are they both actually hermaphrodites?
Yes, and
wow, what are the odds of that?
Yeah,
Both?
and both in a relationship. They're both very interested, or were interested at least, in classical music and opera, and all things sort of old style in that sense, and sort of gothic, and very bright ladies with some very interesting things to say, and certainly very interesting lives led. It ended when there was a breakup, perhaps not unsurprisingly, but ended for certainly for good when one of the co-hosts, Angel, the other being Ashley, when Angel died from as far as I know, unstated circumstances in the house that they both lived in. Died in squalor, and left Ashley to, for a while, work on other projects. But as far as I know, she is retired from that field of work, perhaps due to her myriad ailments, which she openly discussed. And it's left only in bits and pieces, as far as I can tell. I'm sure someone's got whole libraries, maybe Ashley does somewhere. But a lot of it was taken down, and a lot of it wasn't saved, save for whatever, a few dozen maybe episodes on a link that, if anyone's curious, I have it, and I think Ash, you have it, right?
Yeah, I have the Internet Archives link.
Right. So either one of us is DMable. And yeah, so it stands as a fractured and mysterious audio experiment that has a lot of pain packed in with it.
Right.
And they got John McAfee on it, which is interesting.
Yeah, I listened to that one.
What did you think of that one?
Do you want my thoughts on the whole series?
Yeah, why don't you give let's hear Ash's thoughts.
I could not even listen to any episode. I couldn't take it.
It's yeah.
Bro, it sounds like what Red Scare sounds like to somebody that's never listened to Red Scare.
It's basically the like podcast equivalent of like
you know what I said on my stream? It's the Captain Beefhearter podcast.
Very apt description in a lot of ways. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I described it as.
Not for the faint of heart. We'll put it that way.
You know what's funny about it is it's way more incompetent than, like, I said this in my last night. It's way more incompetent and like random or like kind of like unlistenable, more so than like any podcast I've done myself in the past. Like, the stuff I've done in the past is way more, especially as I said on the last episode, the stuff I've done when I was a teenager, like how old was it? I guess it was 18. Is way more like cohesive, because there's some of those old ones that are like where it's like 3 minutes of silence, like awkward silence, and so a lot of those ones are way more cohesive and more listenable than any of these like girls chat pods, like way more cohesive. Like, I didn't think it was possible, but yeah, there's somebody out there beat me.
Well, should we maybe speak on how the whole show got started?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Well, Angel and Ashley, and this is as I've heard it from Ashley's mouth, were, I believe, a couple by this point, and they wanted to break into podcasting for Angel because she thought it would be a good way to make money for some reason, and Ashley wanted to do it because she wanted to do it, and they, being ever provocative in their in the way they move through the world, they thought that the best way to do it would be to do what else but to get on the map by me tooing somebody. Some loser, like, piece of shit fucking internet poet, the type of guy that would use like those fucking like parenthesis and then like a what's equal sign as like a smile in the prose that they write. And God, you know, whatever. And so anyway, Ashley, who was like, when she was 15, 16, was like sort of sexually, whatever, charged at to whatever extent by this guy, and she was familiar with other girls who had the same experience. Me too'd him, and the goal ultimately, I believe, and it's crazy that it really worked out, was to be noticed by who else but Miss Anna and Dasha of Red Scare, who would then talk about it, unfamiliar with the girls and thinking it was more of a traditional, shall we say, Me Too, whatever, witch hunt situation. It happened. They got talked about on the podcast. And then they launched their first episode called Red Pilled by Red Scare. And in which they lay it all out more or less. And from there, I believe, at least with Anna, Ashley was they sort of started talking, and there was no real beef, as far as I can tell. Though some harsh words were aimed early on between the 2 or 4 gals. And from there, they started recording more and more shit. The next episode, Turf Joy with Trans Regret Snoopy, and etc. etc. Some some of the best podcast names I, in my opinion, ever put out. Molly Soda is Creating Inspiration. Why Taylor Swift is the greatest musical example. Jake Flores is a popper sniffing F slur. Penis CK doesn't know how to jerk off. I mean, you know, the list goes on and on.
You could say it's the anal cunt of podcast names.
You could say that. You could say that. Yes. Though, I like Jack Mason's estimation of it as a, and I quoted him earlier without saying it, which doesn't mean I stole. I just didn't say it. The podcast equivalent to like a Warhol film, like not the Empire Warhol films, but like the ones where they would just like record on like shitty, like early recording tech, like fucking junkies, like yammering to each other and shit.
Right, yeah. Like, what's that? Is it Vinyl? The one I'm thinking of?
Yeah,
That's
like
based
Vinyl,
on
more along
Clockwork
the lines
Orange.
of Vinyl and stuff, and like Chelsea Hotel and shit.
Yeah. I can't believe I even know. I can't believe I even know the name of that. It's so sad.
Know the name of what? Vinyl.
Vinyl, the movie Vinyl.
What's wrong about knowing the
Warhol.
name Vinyl? It's not like you watched it.
I have
You watched
seen
it?
a long time ago.
Well, good for you.
I have. I have a long time.
All right, what's wrong with that? What are you like a Warhol film truther or whatever?
No, I'm not. I've seen a lot of his films a long time ago.
Okay. All right. Well, good for you for giving it.
I know that it's based on a Clockwork Orange.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
But
that was my favorite movie when I was 15. Is Clockwork Orange.
That was my favorite movie when I was about 11.
Yeah. Oh, you watched it. I watched it when I was 13. When I first watched it.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? To be fair, I probably didn't really watch it until I was like 12 or 13. But definitely knew about it at 11 and was obsessed. But anyway.
I knew about it when I was a kid because my dad had the VHS and I thought it looked so weird. And I was like, what the fuck? He's like, you can't watch this movie. I was like, what? I was trying to think in my head what it could be about. I was like, so is this movie about a guy that's eyeball pops out? I'm confused.
Right, yeah.
And then I heard it was so disturbing and graphic that I watched when I was 13. I was like, by myself when nobody was around. I was like, wow, this is it. Like, this isn't even that bad.
Yeah. I mean, you'd probably already seen like a woman like hogtied and beaten by that point.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen like more graphic stuff at that point. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've probably seen. Yeah, I've seen pornographic things at that point. So yeah, it was kind of whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it was didn't do. I mean, I liked the movie a lot to the point where it was my favorite movie in that time period, but it wasn't. I didn't think it was like that graphic.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, wait. All right. Yeah. So, do you have any other points to make on girls' chat? Which one's your favorite? Do you like Angel or Ashley better?
Dude, come on.
What?
I said this in the last one. The last thing I did, I was like, why did he think I would even like enjoy this?
I don't
And,
know
like,
if I thought that you'd enjoy it per se, but I had a feeling you'd be fat. Well, wait a minute.
I'm not even fascinated by it.
Wait a minute. Which one of us brought it up first?
You. You.
Did I?
I've heard the name, but I have no idea what it is.
But no, didn't you like ask me what's girls chat?
Yeah, I asked what it is.
That's
I've
what I
heard the
meant. That's
name,
what I
but I
meant.
don't know what it is.
No, yeah. I'm surprised that you're not at least a little like fat and like
I'm
a little
not even
intrigued.
that.
No,
I'm not
really.
even intrigued. No, I'm
Well,
not.
this
It
is
just
where we
sounds like
differ.
a podcast that's made by somebody that's on my IG follow list. That's like some girl that posts Lana Del Rey and like Dasha and stuff. That's literally what it sounds like. One of those people made a podcast. It's not even that like
you. I'm not gonna say you short sell it, but I will say I feel like you're.
No, I see. Here's the thing. They did that podcast before all that stuff, but what I'm saying is it sounds like it's made by like a fucking uh EU girlfriend I had for 3 days made a podcast. That's what it sounded like.
Did you listen to the Taylor Swift episode?
Yes, I did.
What were your thoughts on that?
There was that guy they had on there. I don't know who it was. He said what I exactly thought. He's like, he said something like about it. What was it? It was something like, "Oh, this is like boring or going nowhere." I was like, "Yeah, this is exactly what I think of this fucking thing I'm listening to right now."
I mean, it's going nowhere because it's recorded from nowhere. I don't know. Like, I mean,
Here's the thing. I think you're gonna
the
be. I think
vibe, and
you're.
I get not liking it, and I get it being.
I think you're gonna be like the minority on this. I'm not saying that in a bad way.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, I don't think anyone's like. I don't think this is like. I don't fucking know, like easy listening or anything.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll readily admit that it's like hard to
I
get.
said this like this shocked me. I was like, I finally found. I mean, I've seen a few podcasts and things like this, but I was like, especially this one. I'm like, wow, like I don't have to feel bad for like my podcast. Everything I do is like way more coherent and actually like better quality than a lot of than this one. Like, or like even like more entertaining. I'm like, wow, like I actually beat somebody.
Well, I mean, you'll only beat him in my mind once you get some adult baby to jerk off on one of your streams or something.
Oh, I've been thinking not like that necessarily, but I've been thinking about inviting people like that. Like
Yeah.
I've thought about doing like segments where like I prank call into like classic shock jock stuff. I like a lot of these podcasts now, these live stream podcasts, they do like they take calls in. I've been thinking about like prank calling some of them. I've been uh uh I really want to so bad do a video. I need to invite a poly couple on, or like an open relationship couple on, and I debate with them and shame them. I really did so bad.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I've been thinking about like prank, like classic shock jock stuff, prank calling into like live podcasts and stuff that take phone calls and stuff. Like a lot of the some of the comedians podcasts take phone calls. The Fresh and Fit podcast, they take phone calls. I've been thinking about. I have this idea. I'm still trying to work on it. I really want to call in the Fresh and Fit podcast, and I want to tell them that I have this like harem of women or whatever, and that I don't know. I'm trying to figure out the bit, but I want to have a bit because on their podcast, it's like men's help, so they're like, uh, they're talking about how you need a woman and that, the whole stuff like you need to work for the woman and like you need to provide and stuff. And I want to call in and be like talk about having this harem of women that like work for me, that they're my slaves and I don't do anything. And I'm trying to work out the bit, but I want to call in so bad and like tell them that like I
Don't
have all
maybe.
this women working for me and stuff, and that I want to make them like jealous that I have women working for me instead of I working for them. I'm just trying to work out the bit. I don't know what to say. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Take it slow. Feed. You gotta bridge it out. Don't go
Yeah,
right
yeah,
away.
no, that's why I had to make it as detailed as possible
Yeah,
and like
exactly.
serious. Yeah, where it doesn't sound like I'm making it up.
You should play it as like, I don't know about conflicted, but like definitely don't play it as like
No, like
needy. Don't be obvious in trying to
no,
piss me
like
off.
just casual. Like yeah, I have this.
Yeah, like what's
What do
your
you
guys'
guys
take?
think?
This
Is
is
this
how
a good
I
idea?
differ.
Because men call in for like advice. I'm like, is this a good idea? What I'm doing? Am I on a good path?
Exactly. Yeah,
Is
you get
this
it. You
yeah?
get it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Will this be ridiculous? Yeah. I already reacted to some. There's people that already call in, not like that, but there's people that have called in like talking shit and stuff. And like I react to some of it, and
Of course.
there's already people that like already prank with us. But there's already people that do like a good job at it. But yeah, I've never seen anyone so far do it where they're like, yeah, I do have all this. I have this network of women and stuff. And they work for me, and I'm trying to think of a bit where I'm like, yeah, like saying I have a network of women. They work for me, and that I need like come up with a story, like a backstory, like what I do in my personal life. Like I'm just this fucking like slob, like gross slob. Like I need to come up with like some weird backstory. uh, it's like the people, the people that call in to like or like write into like Sam Hyde's podcast and they give their like backstory and stuff.
Right.
Where they're at. Yeah, I need to come up with something like that, or it's just like backstory.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I was an IT guy at first, but then I found this woman, and yeah, I need to come up with something like that, where it seems convincing.
When you do that, well, I mean, I guess you'd be doing it live, but
Yeah,
be sure to tell me when you do that because I'd like to see that.
yeah. I just need to like, all those podcasts like that. I need to like actually like pay attention when they go live and take calls because they I don't follow those people, so
Start.
um
Leave a
so
good,
I'll actually have
breadcrumb
to like
trail.
pay attention. You know, I
Yeah.
yeah, I don't watch Men's Health
Paper trail. I mean, yeah, you do.
or the ones where they make like fresh or they just invite OnlyFans girls on there and make fun of them.
Right.
304s. They call them 304s.
304s. Why?
Hoes. Because on a calculator,
Oh.
right? Ho, it's 304.
Oh, that's gay.
Yeah, they call them 304.
That's really gay. All right.
You know what's
Fucking
funny is I had a show idea in my head
Yeah.
that was I want to do like a parody of those podcasts, but like play it straight, like kind of like like Tim Heidecker does with like on cinema and stuff like that, where he plays it straight, where it's like a movie review show, but he plays it straight. I wanted to do that, but like parody of those podcasts and invite actual like OnlyFans girls on, like in the room and like the table and stuff. Like I wanted to actually do that, but, like play it straight.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an idea I've had in my head for quite a while.
I have such a sour taste in my mouth over Tim Heidecker. I know that's not really what you're talking about.
At least you know what though, like there's so many of them now. At least the like at least like Fresh and Fit's like somewhat like entertaining. Like as like a it's kind of like entertaining in a way like WWE or like reality TVs like or like actual good reality, not like boring reality TV, but like so bad it's good reality TV is entertaining. But like the worst one is the Whatever podcast. That's the worst. That's so like boring. Everybody on there's monotone-ish. It's very everybody on there's like their own Prozac. It's really boring, but at least for sure it's kind of entertaining. It's kind of funny from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
With them calling girls 304s and they're like, get off the show. Get off the show. You know, they have those moments where they kick girls out.
I vaguely remember. I don't. Who's that? Who's that kid? Who like will like invite like 20-something-year-olds on his show and be like, name 3 books you've read or whatever.
Oh, you're talking about okay, so I know about this entire like world of evil. That's fuck, what's his name? The Bill Clinton kid.
Wait, what?
Maton Evans? Maton Evans? I think that's his name. That's his real name. He goes by Maton Evans. He's on that one. He's on one of those shows. It's not quite like that. It's a little bit different. It's more relaxed. It's not like that's the Neon Sniper Panda. That's he was on his show. Neon Sniper Panda is more relaxed. Like it's not they have
Okay.
OnlyFans on there and stuff, but it's not like a men's health podcast. It's just more of an entertainment. They're more casual and stuff. It's not like they're trying to like teach anything or like be cool. It's just a bunch of Neon Sniper. He's just a guy that invites people that have like so you'll invite like streamers or like TikTokers or like OnlyFans or whoever has any somewhat clout. He just puts them on like one thing. That's like all he does or whatever, and just
Right.
sees what happens. But
Is he? How old is he?
Maton Evans was on there because that's why he invited him because he got attention. He's like, I think he's like 16 or something like that now.
All right.
Yeah, he was on one of those like name 10 books. It was kind of, he's funny. He's the one that pranked he's the one that punked Hassan Piker, which I actually thought was funnier, which was funnier than that video. Hassan Piker was at some protest thing along with Olivia Munn and some other washed up people at doing some picket fence things. And he like Hassan or Maton went up to them and he started, I forgot what he said, but he was asking, he did the whole mic thing, like, oh, I'm going up to public, like with the mic or whatever, kind of like the mic I'm holding right now. But the mic I'm using right now is what they use in those videos. But he's all like you know, doing the thing, and he goes to Hassan and them, and I forgot what he says, but Hassan's doing the thing where he's like really serious, and he's all like looking away, like I've done this before. I prank people in real life. I've done the same thing, and they do this. They're like, they do this the look where they like look away, like they're not even like looking at you. Yeah, it's not funny. You know, it's but yeah, I like that guy. He doesn't. I don't think he does much stuff though. Like he seems like he just makes appearances once in a blue moon, but he doesn't like.
I respect that. I kind of like that actually.
Yeah,
I like
he's
that he
called the
doesn't
Bill
kinda
Clinton kid because his
Why?
first big appearance was actually it wasn't his first big appearance, but his first like national appearance was the that like video game awards thing where he when people go up stage, so when they win an award, they they walk up stage or whatever, and then they give their speech. He just hopped on stage. He was in the he snuck in and he just hopped on stage behind them, kind of blended in, dressed like them, looked like he was like one of the video game developers, and he and then he got up on mic and said because like the video game developers are like, thank you to the president of the company, thank you to the designers for making this happen or whatever. They do that. They thank people. He just went up there, went up the mic, and they didn't even know he was there behind them the whole time. He's like, I'd like to thank I would like to thank Bill. I forgot what he said. He had that weird like accent, which is fake.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank Bill Clinton or whatever. Or he said he says my what did he say? Like my superior, he said something like that. My inspiration, Bill Clinton, or something like that on the thing. And they didn't know who he was. And a lot of people thought he was just one of the developers or something weird. Yeah. And yeah, that's his first like
I
national
like this guy, man.
appearance.
I like him.
His
He's
first big
chill.
appearance though was he was on InfoWars before that. He made an appearance on
Before that.
InfoWars because he
What, when he was 8?
yeah, no, he was like 10 or something, like 11 years old or something. He went on InfoWars because his first famous video was it was at some like school basketball thing where or like a basketball thing where he held up a sign that was like I don't remember what it was. It might have been like a pro Trump thing or something like that. And people were shocked that like a little like a 10-year-old like or 11-year-old or whatever is like doing that or whatever. And there's probably some few articles written about it. Then they invited him on InfoWars, of course, to talk about it or whatever. Because they're like, he's a kid, and he's like, the left got mad that he did this thing or whatever, or something like that. They're like, that's his like first like appearance, I think, was that. Yeah, so I saw that video that InfoWars. I didn't realize he's been around like a while, like doing stuff. That's his whole like career path, is just like hijinks and weird things.
Right.
Appearances at random places, which I like though. I like that because it also makes him not like stale. He's not like his whole gimmick isn't stale. Like he just pops up when it's like a really good time to pop up. He's not like overstaying his welcome. Kind of like who was actually in that video, the Name 10 Books video. He was in the background. You don't see him in the video, but I found out he's actually in the video. Is like John Zerka, who I really thought was funny for a while. And he still does make good videos and stuff, but he's like one other guy. Like he's funny, but I his gimmick gets old. Like it's kind of the same. Like he needs to, like switch it up or whatever. If you have kind of a gimmick, it's like it's time to kind of switch it up, kind of move on to do other things. Like because like him, it's like how many more times can you talk about flat Earth? It's like it gets old after a while. It's like okay, we get it. Like you're a flat earther. Like it's like it's like we get it. It's but some of the funniest like videos I've seen in recent years have been with the Zerka, but the issue is that he overstayed. I feel like his gimmick has gotten old really fast. Like it's and he's one of those too. It's like a lot of people, like it's sad when you see people like that because like wow, like he's one of those that is a very creative guy. Like he could do a lot of things, but he just doesn't. Like he barely makes videos anymore. It's like wow, like you could like do all this stuff, but you just don't choose to. You just kind of like uh yeah, I don't know. It's sad when you see people like that. Or it's like wow, like you can do. I feel like I'm like that sometimes. I mean that's why I've been doing this consistently now. Is that I felt like I wasn't fully using my potential. So
That's such a funny way of putting it, but yeah, I see
yeah.
what you mean.
Did you hear about the about like obviously you know who Hassan Piker is, but you know about like the the term bread tuber?
Yeah. Yeah.
All those guys. Do you hear about like the Vosh?
Yes, I know.
The recent the recent thing where he
Did
had
he
like
fuck a kid?
no, he had like folders of like anime porn depicting children or whatever. His folder. He was doing a live stream like this, and he pulled on his computer, and he saw like a folder he accidentally had opened up, and he clicked off, and he plus it's his anime like, but it's all like lolly stuff. And he
Okay.
made a live stream talking about it. He's all like saying that it's not bad and stuff. But before that he was saying that CP doesn't like it's illegal and stuff, but it doesn't necessarily automatically make you a bad person if you have it or whatever. He's doing something like that. And he's like Vosh is like the most he's the most Reddit guy ever. When I think of like a Redditor, like Vosh immediately pops in my head.
I remember
He has the look, he has the talk. He's like the he's so like 2010 like atheist guy. Like neck beard, like he has everything.
he had TJ go on his show or whatever, I think.
Yeah, no, yeah. He yeah, yeah, but there's a lot of those guys like do you know Destiny?
Run it by me real quick. What's his deal?
He's he's considered a part of that scene, but he's not really like he doesn't like any of those guys. He actually has beef with a lot of those guys and stuff. He's the guy that he's the streamer guy that does all his political debates. Like he debated with Ben Shapiro recently. He's debated with everybody. Like every famous like political commentator, you know, he's debated with or whatever, and or every streamer, you know, he's debated with. He's done everybody at this point. He's the guy that he last year he had like blue hair and um yeah, he's the one that was on Jesse Lee Pearson a lot, and he called him a beta because he was in an open relationship or whatever. And I don't know, is that ringing a bell or not? He's a liberal.
No, not in the
kind of guy.
slightest, frankly.
No.
However, I've looked it up, and do you wanna hear the last 2 days ago Amazing Atheist video title?
Yeah.
Muslim thinker fumbles atheist questions. My man is back in the atheism game. All that politics,
Yeah.
doo doo.
Debating Muslims.
No. We back on that atheism. TikTok
anyways,
features
I brought up
spooky
Destiny.
2024 warning.
I brought up Destiny because he has beef with a lot of the guys we're talking about, and he's done videos with pretty much everybody you could think of, like that's a political commentator or like a famous streamer. He's done a video with at this point, and he and like Zerka, the guy I was talking earlier, he actually kind of got famous, like popular because he made appearances on his streams and stuff, debating about random stuff like flat Earth and stuff. And Destiny, I actually agree with him a lot of times. Well, but he's also a very Reddit type of guy. He's a Reddit kind of guy. He talks really fast. He's always on Adderall. He talks really fast, and
Adderall, you said.
Okay. Yeah, he was in an open relationship, and a girl left him for his girl left him for a famous Swedish TikToker or something, and he was shocked that the relationship like ended badly or whatever, and he made a stream where he's like talking about it, and he's all like he said the most Reddit thing I've ever heard. He's like, so when we got an argument about it, and whenever she did her whenever she was throwing out her arguments, I was dodging her arguments, like how Neo in the Matrix was dodging bullets, how they're just going by me.
That fucking rocks.
It's like the most
that
Reddit
rocks.
fucking thing you could like ever say.
Oh my god, I love a Matrix reference in 2024.
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, it's the only content I would recommend for Destiny is the Nick Fuentes debates. he's done a lot of debates with him, which are actually really funny. Or the Zerka debates, because those are actually like, really funny. And but the other videos I don't really recommend. Yeah, if you just want to watch some Reddit ass debates, like that's how I would describe it. It's very Reddit, like his whole persona and like debates he has and stuff. But like those are the only ones I recommend. They're actually like kind of funny. They're entertaining or whatever. And it's funny too because Destiny, he's a very, and he actually said in a video, I think he is an atheist. He said he was like a 2010 atheist guy. You can kind of tell he was that kind of guy. And he was saying that or it's funny because he's an atheist or whatever, but uh the flat Earth debate he had, I should just play it on stream one day. But the flat Earth debate he had with Zerka, he actually lost. He actually lost the debate. It doesn't even matter if you believe a flat Earth. He lost. There's like no way. Like if you watch the video, he lost. He was getting emotional. He was getting yeah, he was just getting emotional, not really making any arguments throughout the whole video. So yeah, he technically lost the debate. Zerka was actually like being kind of detached. He wasn't getting emotional. He's spewing his like quote unquote facts he knows and stuff like. So on it, because debates, that's the thing. Debates, it's not about who's right or wrong. It's about who makes the best argument. And he lost. He was getting emotional. He wasn't, but he lost. It didn't matter if he's right or not. He lost. But that's the thing about atheists is they're all about facts and logic, but they get emotional a lot.
They sure do.
Hey, I'm curious. I'm gonna watch that amazing atheist video later.
I honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I've been like looking at the thumbnails, and like a deep, deep part of me from like childhood is like kind of like just gently crying out, like maybe click, maybe click. It's there's something so sickly nostalgic and sort of just like rosy about it in a way, in a
Yeah.
sick, dirty
What's
way.
with that? That's a thing now. Like Islam is like a
Mm.
trend now.
Is it? I
People
haven't
converting
noticed.
to
I don't know.
Muslim, it's a thing. Every like depending where you live, like I know in like Miami and stuff, because that's where all the fucking influencer TikTok degenerates live. That's what they all live now. They all converted to Islam, all of them, because of the first like famous person that did like in recent times on the internet that did that was like Andrew Tate, and then they all decided to copycat him. Oh, we're all Muslim now, and like it's just funny. It's just funny how like everybody's converting to Islam. Not everybody. It's just fucking that population is converting to Islam, and because Islam is not like it's not like a casual religion you just convert to. Too. That's what's funny. It's not like Christianity where it's very easy, where you can just wake up one day and be like, you know what, I'm a Christian. I'm gonna start reading the Bible and going to church. Like Muslims, you have to like their rituals and all the things they do is like hardcore. It's not like casual. How they dress, like everything's very like it's not a religion you jump into. Really, you kind of slowly get into it, and it's just funny that all these people are converting. They're all fake Muslims too. Like, and I've been watching. There's some of those YouTubers that are actually Muslims, or they're not Muslim, but they know a lot about their religion. Is they're former, or they're just like religious scholar type guys that know a lot about the history of religions and stuff. And I've been watching their videos. It's just funny that just them calling out all these people and stuff that are all of a sudden claiming they're Muslim, but they don't do anything to like show they're Muslim. Like yeah, it's like Sneeko is like most famous example of that. He's just like fucking. He's still cosplaying that he's Muslim. It's like, come on, dude. Like, we all know you're not Muslim. You hang around with degenerates. You're fucking. You're not Muslim, and he only did because of Andrew Tate became his hero became a Muslim.
That rocks.
And who knows if he is a Muslim? He's probably not. I don't know. Like the fuck. It's just funny. I don't.
I mean I don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit either. But I just think it's goofy that they're like, I'm Muslim now. It's like okay, like
Yeah.
that.
I should go
Like at
Muslim.
least show that you are. Like I don't like. Don't just like say it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like people that are like Christian that it's funny since we're on the like Christians like Zerka that like say like Christ is king, what they do degenerate shit, or they don't do it, they don't go to church to read the Bible, they're like, I'm Christian. Like, okay. Like you don't do it, you don't practice anything, you just say you
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Now Jews are another story. They don't let
Killed
anybody in the
Christ.
club.
Yeah.
What did you say?
So
That they killed Christ? Yeah, they killed him.
I don't know. I'm just goofy. I'll have to go because I gotta get to sleep.
Okay.
But I don't remember. Do you believe in God?
Yes, I do.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Do you
I don't
pray?
believe in the concept of God as in like Christianity and the Abrahamic sense. No, I don't. But I do believe in a God that
Mm-hmm.
created
Interesting.
everything.
Yeah.
Which we call it. I guess I'm just a theist, a plain old theist.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're not going to hell then.
Do you believe the
No, I'm playing. I don't.
Do you believe in God?
Do I believe in God? I mean, I pray way too much for an atheist. So yeah.
Well, you're not an atheist. I pray sometimes, not often.
Yeah. I pray.
I meditate a lot.
I'm always fucking praying for
Yeah.
my retard
Well, I
friend.
say too. I'm more of like Eastern thought than Western thought.
Mhm.
If you know
Yeah, I can
religion.
see that for you. I can see that for you. That makes sense. I don't know. I mean, uh, if I believe in a God, it's in my mind basically the Abrahamic God. So I
Okay.
mean, that's just
Well, you know
my
why?
that's just my definition of
You
God
know why
because
you
that's
lean
all I've
towards
seen.
Abrahamic God, right?
Why?
Because you're a Pisces. Pisces is the most religious sign.
Ah,
Pisces are always Christians and or Muslims. A lot of Muslims are
very, very
Pisces.
true. Very
And
true.
so this is what's weird. Pisces are always Abrahamic, and Scorpios are always like occult. But Cancers are always like Eastern thought, like uh, uh, the Dalai Lama is a Cancer. A lot of famous Cancers, they're Buddhists and stuff like that. That's very common
Hmm.
with water sign are religious or spiritual in general, but that's like the usual thing. I'm a Cancer rising, but I'm a Scorpio. But yeah, I definitely lean towards Eastern thought than Abrahamic or whatever. And
Hmm.
I don't practice black magic or anything like that, but I definitely do have some occult-ish views, something like, or I kind of believe in some occultish things,
Hmm.
even though I don't like practice it.
Yeah.
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 And when I was a kid, I always had a little kid. I always had like a fascination with occult.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you have to get going.
Yes, I do, but thank you for allowing me on to your little your stream thing. It was a nice
Yes,
little
yeah.
surprise. This was not planned very much
Yes.
anyway. It was we decided to do this like
At least
last.
I have. I have a question.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
my mic complete shit?
No, it sounds pretty clean to me.
Oh, really? Okay. Uh, it might be because it's very close to my face. The last thing I did, it sounded bad. Maybe because it's far away.
Were you trying to like make it look like talk showy and like you just
No,
fucked up?
no. But
Oh, okay.
I think it's because my microphone was away from my face.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Were you?
Yeah, so it sounded a bit bad. I have I like this. I have a setup now.
Yeah,
It looks
yeah,
a
yeah.
lot nicer.
I did catch a little peek at that setup, and I'm happy about it.
Very casual, but yeah, it's
That's the way.
There
That's the
was
way. Hey,
supposed
hey,
it was
man.
supposed to be
That's the way I like it.
post. I was gonna put posters in the background, but there isn't. I mean, I could put little ones, but I think it looks better just as
Mm-hmm.
this. I would definitely wanted the lights, like I did in my old apartment, and you remember some of the early videos we did. I remember I always filmed on my phone, and I always had like lights in the background and stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I brought it back, but because I like that. But yeah, I was originally gonna put and that's the thing when this show evolves, I'm gonna have a better equipment, better. I'm actually gonna try like in the future, like actual like set and stuff. It's more complex.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's supposed to be like movie posters, like 3 movie posters in the background that were like my favorite posters or whatever
Yeah.
that were gonna be in the background. But then I just ended up like, you know what, I just like it with the lights.
I
I was
think
like,
that's
yeah,
the better route.
yeah, and I
Personally.
didn't have to spend extra money on posters and shit. So I was like,
Yeah. Fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck posters. No.
yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna continue the show.
Yeah, man.
Um,
Folks. I don't know. Goodbye.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, bye
Go
bye.
listen to fucking Girls Chat. Give it a shot. All right. Whatever. Okay.
Yeah,
Bye.
yeah,
Bye.
yeah.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Okay. That was Zach, long-term Pirate Hork family member. I'm gonna go pee. In 5 seconds, and then I'm gonna come back. And when I come back, we actually got some people actually consistently watching this tonight. Some people have gotten in and out, but like there's been consistent viewers on here. Coming in and out. I'm gonna continue the uh uh. Actually, I'm not gonna continue the video, but I will talk about the Gen Z anxiety pandemic. So yeah, I'm gonna be back in like I guess I don't have to go to the break title card as a song since I'm gonna be back so fast. I'm actually gonna play the video that was as the background, and then while I go pee.
The Joe Rogan Experience. Up to it.
So I'll be
And they
back in like 10
constantly report
seconds.
to me about their mental health, how they're feeling today. They can't just take a chance and go with it.
It's weird because as a parent, like you want to hear kids out. And when they're having like some sort of anxiety, an issue, you want to talk with them and you want to talk through it. Sure. And you don't want to tell them, hey, you're going to have to suck it up. I never say that. And I probably should. I mean, I don't know if I should. But I mean, if I had boys, I probably would. I think I would probably treat them differently. But I think that there's there's a fine line. Like, where is the point of diminishing returns? Like, where is it valuable to address feelings and anxiety and thoughts, and is it irresponsible to do so without giving them tools to mitigate those things, and along with those tools, to explain to them that there's things that they're going to have to do in this life that are very difficult, but that there's a great reward in doing these very difficult things.
So the problem, as I see it, is not that you're not saying suck it up. It's that no one ever says suck it up, no matter how minor the scratch to these kids, okay? And sometimes being told you'll live. Remember when Dad used to say you'll live? Or, you know.
Okay. All right. So I don't really need to play the rest of the video, but they're just talking about the Gen Z anxiety epidemic that's been going on forever. And like I said earlier, Gen X that's the whole like making melancholia into like a fashion started with Gen X, and that you know, it's not really Zoomers' fault. They were raised by, you know, Gen Xers. And so you know, it wasn't, you know, it just wasn't, it's not really our faults, you know, that's kind of their issue. But yeah, they definitely need to suck it up, as they say. All right, so I'm gonna play. All right, we're gonna get into this funny video I have to show you guys. It's an old video. It's from like 13, 14 years ago, I think. It's really funny. It's these Avatar cosplayers. I just found this video recently. It is so funny. You see it? I don't know. See it? Okay. Cool.
My girlfriend and I started talking about we should get out there and really experience things together.
We wanted to get into nature.
Actually, why does it not show up on my thing? Oh, there's a delay. Okay, cool. All right, so these are these Avatar cosplayers. I don't know if this is a joke that you're about. Let's just pretend it's not.
Nature, which is where we are.
I love it. You know, it doesn't matter what
so
other people.
All right, let's make it blue in here.
My girlfriend and I started talking about we should get out there and really experience things together.
We wanted to get into nature, which is where we are.
I love it. You know, it doesn't matter what other people plan to do or whatever. You know, like I know why I'm here, what I came to do.
I'm not blue and 10 feet tall, but you know, when I get to dress up and see my friends like this, I do feel 10 feet tall. I mean, everyone looks good. They got long hair, they're muscular.
You know what? At least these people are living life. They're fucking.
You have to be really strong to use a bow.
Ooh, Douglas, nice shot.
Thanks.
Yeah, you are really good at this.
Oh, thank you.
I'm excited for the Tree of Souls tonight. It's really the most exciting time for the weekend because we get a bond.
I'm looking for the bonding with Paprika.
Well, not if I bond with her first.
Ow! Fuck!
Oh!
God damn it! Oh!
This is not cool. Okay, we're not doing this because it's cool. We're doing this because it's important.
Fuck you, Sky Bitch! I feel comfortable like this. I feel like this is my real skin, you know? And this is who I am, so I don't have to be ashamed of it, you know? I mean, like a Chinese
I really
person
can't
should...
tell if this is a sketch or not. I really honestly do not know.
be ashamed of being Chinese and dress up as, you know, a black person.
I work for Megatech. I'm an IT supervisor and analyst. The language of the Na'vi is very beautiful.
Avatar is not even that cool of a movie. So I don't understand what the fuck the deal is with these people. It's not even that cool. Does anybody in the chat think Avatar is a cool movie?
I don't spend too much time worrying about how to talk, you know? Because I am Na'vi. I have to prove it by saying stuff.
You know, I really feel like I can see people. Like, I see you here. I see you. I see
No.
Sahilo is a Na'vi word. It means sacred bond.
Avatar is just a ripoff of. Well, first of all, the logo is Avatar: The Last Airbender. When it came out when I was a kid, I was like, "What the fuck? It's just Avatar: The Last Airbender." They stole the fucking logo and name, and also, it's it's Smurfs crossed with Ferngully with Halo aesthetics. That's Avatar.
Most excited for the ceremony at the Tree of Souls.
One of my goals this weekend is to make Sahelo with everyone here. This is the Tree of Souls, the most important place, most sacred spot in all of Pandora. Skittle, scoot, scooch. So we're doing the ceremony. We make Saewa, and we communicate with our ancestors.
It's almost like what I've seen Japanese people do.
My people, the Na'vi. We sit. This is like the true meaning of synergy. It's a chance
God,
to
what do you fuck a blue bitch?
to meditate, to give back a little bit, and kind of appreciate. Hey, we're out here. We are Na'vi, and this is really happening.
This is what happens when your kids have too much time on their hands.
See, Pandora, for me, is a place which I feel like I've known about for a long time, like way before the movie came out.
I didn't believe in God before Avatar. I didn't know what to call it. You know, I was a Protestant. I grew up Protestant. I didn't really buy into that.
You know, like transsexuals.
Protestants are there's what's that meme with like the circles, the Venn diagram, Protestant and theater kid. There's a lot of crossover.
They know who they are, so they, you know, allow themselves to have the outer layer that reflects what's inside. Hey, this is who I am. So, I'm Na'vi.
It's all the way down to my tail.
I don't know. And that's okay. You know, it's okay not to know.
Wisconsin, a great state.
I'll make Sahela right now. Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Oh. That was a really nice Sahela.
Wow. All right. All right. Okay. We was kings. We need to investigate. Oh, oops. My DMs opened up. We need to investigate the neoliberal or neoliberal girl or whatever. I'm sorry, but this girl, your better picture. I guess this is the best picture we have. This girl is a psyop. I'm sorry, she's a psyop. I don't know one person that listens to her podcast, and she's a psyop. Who is this person? She came out of the blue. She came out of the woodworks, and all of a sudden, she's on all these shows. She knows everybody. She's a psyop. I mean, it's ridiculous. Her name, Neoliberal Health. She's a dime square psyop. Yeah, definite psyop. I don't know what
Why can't you have both?
You need to pick one.
I refuse the question.
You can't refuse the question.
I do.
But you can't.
But I did.
But you need to pick one.
No, I don't.
I just said you did.
So what?
Can you pick one?
No, because they're both doable.
No. Only one.
I don't have to pick one because you can have both.
But the answer is both is not an answer. It's not a valid answer.
I reject your question.
You can't reject it.
I just did.
Can you pick one?
I don't have to.
Why?
Because they're both completely doable.
So LGBTQ rights or economic stability?
Both.
That's not an answer.
See, that's what I'm saying. This is all a psyop.
Hey Heath, George Santos here. I'm so proud of you for coming out as a furry, and I just wanted to tell you that your friends and family all accept you, and they're all excited about your persona, which is awesome to be a beaverpuss, a beaver and a platypus. So let me tell you, they all love you, beaverpuss. Don't you ever get your head down, and don't you ever let anybody tell you what you can and can't be. I'm so proud that the corporate folks at Arby's gave you the go ahead to go to work in your persona. So if you could just, live it up and be as perfect as you want, just keep doing you, and yiff. Hey.
Like, maybe she's not a psyop, but this is all algorithmic. Haha, lib's bad, but I'm the good lib, and I'm hot. She's a psyop. I'm sorry. Like, all right, let's move on. I don't really have anything else to say. Unless anybody else does. Oh yeah, so that's the thing with like a lot of these people, like these celebrity podcasts. I was kind of mentioning this earlier. They just have like really like people don't understand how to do podcasts down there. A podcast is supposed to be kind of low key. You do your shit. If you have a set, there's an actual purpose to it. But a lot of these people, they build this set that's like fancy but not aesthetically appealing or interesting, and they do these shows that are they do it like it's like a TV show talk show, like it's Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel. That's not what you're supposed to do. It's supposed to be more authentic, ridiculous. All right. I think this will be the last thing I talk about.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Mick.
So Jordan Peterson, this is old news, but Jordan Peterson got his license taken away by the woke mob. I'll talk about this video. This will be probably the last thing I'll talk about tonight. Unless I come up with something, but I think this is the last thing.
Fancy meeting you here.
Yeah, fancy seeing you here too.
They are like the most awkward father and daughter duo ever.
Well, this might not be the most fun conversation, but I thought before we delve into how awful this is, I thought I could just read a brief background I wrote about what's been going on so people are caught up to speed. Is that okay?
Yep.
Okay. Yes, of course.
The gist of it is, it looks like your license.
They call me Rabbi, which was... It was a hell of a thing to hear. Guy is... No wonder he got his license taken away. And this guy was talking shit about fat people, mentally ill people on Twitter. It's like, bro, you're a fucking psychiatrist. It doesn't matter if you're right or raw, like Jessica Pearson says. That is your job, is to protect these people, give them help, not to make fun of them.
Is getting taken away. But starting from the beginning, the College of Psychologists of Ontario, a regulatory board that was formed to monitor psychologists' relationships with their clients mainly, has been after you for, is it 3 years or is it longer than that?
It depends on the waves, but for this issue, it's been 3 or 4 years, yeah.
So working professionals like doctors, lawyers, massage therapists even, are all overseen by regulatory boards. What regulatory boards are supposed to do is give clients who've been basically abused by working professionals a place to go to complain to. What happened to you is a bunch of people who weren't your clients, random people online from all over the world, complained about a number of your tweets, as well as comments you made on Joe Rogan. The sorry not beautiful tweet in reference to a extremely obese swimsuit model, a tweet criticizing the government of Canada, a tweet saying that physicians removing women's breasts for being trans was criminal, and one, I thought, fairly entertaining tweet suggesting that this is the tweet that people online are saying you were inciting suicide, which honestly, I think you'd have to have the IQ of a beetle in order to think that. But anyway, you responded to someone who thought the world's population was too high and suggested that he should include himself in the depopulation he was already suggesting.
Chat, is Michaela Peterson hot? I think she's very hot. I kind of like girls too they're smart, but they're kind of like, they're really smart, but say dumb things that they think is smart. Kind of pseudo-intellectuals. I like pseudo-intellectual girls.
The college basically took all those complaints and decided that you pose a moderate risk to the public. And I quote, the tweets were undermining public trust in the profession of psychology and trust in the college's ability to regulate the profession in the public interest. So completely ignoring the fact that one, morbid obesity should not be encouraged as it kills people. Removing your breasts and sterilizing yourself should not be encouraged. And I'm not even sure why we'd have to explain that criticizing the government should be protected and sarcasm is a form of humor. They decided you have to undergo re-education, which you fought back against and lost, and appealed and lost because, in my opinion, the court system in Canada is full of woke judges, so there was no winning there. And now you're basically in a position where you either undergo re-education, which won't work because you won't get turned woke, or
I don't
you
know.
lose your license. You don't know.
You never know. This time next year, man, it's pink hair and away we go on the radical leftist side. Converted
Yeah.
completely. No, you don't think
Okay.
so?
I don't think so. So that's the overview. So I guess we could start with like, how are you feeling about all this?
I think you were insulting to beetles.
Oh, nice fake laughing.
What have they ever done to you, Michaela? Okay,
This is how
anyways.
women fake laugh. This is how women fake laugh. Oh, they have. I turned on the closed captions. Michaela, okay, anyways. I'm just gonna leave it on.
Yeah. So, are you okay?
It's tiring. You know, like I'm preparing for this tour. I have I'm finishing up 2 books. They're very complicated. They take pretty much all my attention, and having
They pretty much take your attention from ripping off source material from Carl Jung and other philosophers and psychologists. He's too busy like taking material but not plagiarizing him, but just putting in his own words. That's what he's doing. It's not that complicated. None of the psychology and philosophy is not hard to fucking do. It's not hard to write. It's literally the easiest shit in the world to write.
to fight this war,
fight
well,
this
it's
war.
tiring. You know, I have to plot, strategize, write, watch my tongue, consider my next best move. And I also have to face the dismal reality that
If Jordan Peterson had his life together and his ultimate strategist, he would be in a fucking weird ass, sketchy Russian hospital addicted to pills. Let's be fucking real here.
as I wrote in the National Post, in Canada's National Post this week, that in some real fundamental sense, Canada's Charter of Rights isn't worth the paper it's written on, and likely professionals in this country can say goodbye to their right to express themselves, politically or otherwise, politically or professionally. I don't think that my tweets, some of my tweets were political in a sense, in that I was criticizing certain government figures, Councilman, Trudeau's former chief of staff, and Justin, the WEF puppet himself. And I suppose you could argue that those were political opinions, and fair enough, but I have the right to my political opinions.
Yep.
The tweets that I really got criticized for, particularly the one regarding Page, or Page, or however he or she wants to be referred to, I also regarded that as a professional obligation, because I think it's incumbent on psychologists with an ounce of integrity to point out the danger of having self-deluded, narcissistic, self-destructive celebrities parade their proclivity to self-sterilize and self-mutilate as a public good on their public forums. So,
bro, that's what you fucking do. You project. You love misery porn. You love it. You love crying in public. You love it. You are a celebrity. At this point, is Jordan Peterson not a celebrity? He's a fucking celebrity. What is he talking about?
I don't regret any of that. And I certainly, you know me, Michaela, I can feel guilty at the drop of a hat. It's actually one of my outstanding features. And I like scoured my...
Peterson too. She's a blonde. I'm a spick, so I like blondes. We all like blondes. Us Latin Mediterranean men, we love blondes. We see attractive blonde, we lose our shit. Blondes are not all what they're joked up to be, but we like their type.
My conscience with regards to these accusations.
What's the thing too? Like, why do people are like, I want a smart girl, I want a funny girl. Why would you want any of that? Why would you want a girl that's better than you? I want her to fucking not even be at my level, and I'm not even that much of a high value man. Let's be real here. Unless she's like my sugar mommy.
The best I can do is to find them grimly amusing. This is so ridiculous. I mean, the fact that the college accepted a complaint that was the entire transcript of my 3-hour discussion with Joe Rogan pretty much says it all. And by the way, on the climate front, just so that everyone is crystal clear about this, I think the climate models that are used to justify the encroaching tyranny planned by the WF are 100% untrustworthy. And I think that the notion that we should...
I don't doubt what he's saying, but at the same time, it's like, dude, you're mentally ill yourself. And make fun of mentally ill people. Like, you cannot, if you're a psychiatrist, a certified psychiatrist, you cannot be any of those things. You can't do any of those
let people terrify us to death with
Now I know
notions
that
of an...
psychiatrists they have their own therapy sessions and stuff like that, but you cannot, as a psychiatrist, like make fun of people like eat. Let's say they're talking about obesity, but that's an eating disorder. You can't make fun of eating disorders. Probably patients that are have the eating disorders. Probably one of the most probably top 3 like common disorders your patients will have. Eating disorders are so common, overeating or undereating. They're very common. It's right up there with anxiety and depression, and obviously they're related.
Climate apocalypse, so that we have to be locked down in every possible manner, give up our automobiles, give up our flights, private or otherwise, give up our right to buy clothing, give up our right to eat, give up our right to keep grandma warm or cool in the summer, let's say. It's like, no, sorry, no, wrong in every possible way. And more people are waking up to that realization. Some of these tweets are now 2 years old. I think they've aged remarkably.
Personality type. I have type diversity as INTP. I'm an ENTP. I like INTP girls. I don't need an INTP girl so bad. Or ISTP girl. That's what I need in my life. It's a TI girl. Any girl that's an INTP, an ENTP, ISTP, ESTP, please, let's start dating.
Well, personally, and so I don't see where the crime is here, man. I think the crime would have been holding my tongue. So, and you asked me how I'm doing. It's like, this didn't really come as a surprise, so I'd already prepared for it. And as you and I spoke about last night, and I've talked over with Tammy too, and with Julian, my son, for, to some degree.
I always forget that his son has the same first name as mine. Wow.
We're going to see what good we can make arise from this. And if this is my opportunity to further expose the machinations of the radical left, narcissistic, resentful, woke mob, then bring it on,
Just
boys.
pretend he's talking about me when he says Julian.
We saw what happened to Claudine Gay. We saw what happened to the president of UPenn. If the good people at the Ontario College of Psychologists think they're immune from such things, they have another think coming. So, and maybe I'm wrong. I'm not wrong about the damn tweets. I might be wrong about how this is going to unfold. But even there, the worst thing they can do to me is take my license. Now, they're definitely planning to do that, because the rule is I have to be educated by people of their choice at my expense.
Okay, so he
for
made
whatever
this video and he didn't even take his license away yet. And he's like, I think they're going to take my license. They haven't taken your license away yet. Chill the fuck out, dude.
length of time they deem suitable, until by their standards I've learned whatever the hell lesson I'm supposed to learn. And I can't even imagine what that lesson would be. It's like, what? Don't tweet? Don't speak? Don't think? Don't tell my clients the truth? So I don't know how to learn that lesson. I don't know how they're going to measure whether or not I've learned it. I don't know who they're going to get to measure it. I have no idea who they're going to get to teach me. I guess we're going to find out. I would like to find out. I'm very curious about that person. And so I'm set up for failure. And, my detractors will say, well,
So
Dr.
odd,
Peterson, you say yourself up for failure, whatever. But
those are the Beatles I was referring to.
yeah, I know. And, well, I don't think I've...
Does Jordan Peterson have Asperger's syndrome?
Set myself up for failure. I wouldn't say the evidence so far suggests that I have. And so, it's so much of it's preposterous. One of the things I asked the college, they never answered. I asked them 40 questions in a letter of this level of impossibility. So one of them was,
Bro,
all right, so
colleges
you
never
got about it.
respond. I've applied at random jobs at colleges, like not like educational related, just like janitor, front desk, blah blah, front desk, blah 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 blah. Random jobs at colleges, they don't fucking respond worth a shit. So they're not gonna fucking
A dozen complaints. Maybe they got like 17 complaints and decided to proceed with 13. It's something like that. From people from all over the world, detailing out the
college is
my
really
crime.
weird. College, it is because there's fraternities in colleges and stuff, but no, college itself is a fraternity. They don't like, especially universities, because that's who he's referring to. He's not obviously talking about, oh, the community college in San Jose. No, 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 no. He's not talking about that. He's talking about universities like fucking Berkeley and Princeton. And I just found out. Oh, by the way, guys, as a little thought experiment, I want you to Google famous Princeton alumni right now. Your mouth is gonna drop on who graduated at Princeton. You're gonna be like, oh, I get it now. Yeah. A university, you can't even get into a university unless you're part of it's a club. You cannot get into it unless you're part of the club. That's why they all kind of know each other. There's kind of this weird incestuous thing going on in universities. If you're an outsider going to university, that's not that's not an Testing. Okay. Sorry, my microphone died. I'm gonna have to use the laptop mic. Oh, whoa, come on! Disable my microphone. Fuck. Is it still on? Bro. Is it still on? That was fucking God. Fucking with me. Wow, that was God literally saying, you know, fuck you. Fuck your computer. That was a fucking bad fall, too. I mean, it didn't damage anything. Wow. I don't even know if it's still on. I have my laptop mic, so. Wow, dude. I've never had that happen before, ever. The timing of that was too perfect. My microphone died, and then literally I still continued talking shit, and then it just went, dude. Maybe too much pride? I don't know. Fuck that. I don't fucking care. Okay. I mean, I do, but I don't. Let's continue. Strong Pearson. I was scared because my laptop literally fell, and my it was stacked on what do you call that? A box. It was a storage container thing, and it fucking fell, but not just fell. It fucking went. It sandwiched. It fell on it, and this is a very kind of cheap laptop, so I didn't want this to damage. I didn't want to have this laptop take a beating, so that's what kind of scared me. But yeah. All right. Let's continue. Or anything else weird.
As we've discussed, many of those complainants claimed falsely in writing to be clients of mine, by the way, which didn't invalidate their opinions apparently. None of them, just to be clear about this, none of them were clients of mine or new clients of mine or were anyone I commented about on Twitter or knew anyone I commented about on Twitter. So we want to be clear about that. And I can't see how this can play out in any other way than I take the course, it doesn't work because it's set up not to work, then they take my license. Okay, now what's the consequence of me losing my license? Well, it's annoying, because those are hard licenses to get, and I worked very hard to earn and deserve that license and to maintain it. And also very hard at being a good therapist, which I was. There were no complaints taken against me by anyone until I became known in the public sphere, so that's a good thing to consider. And I'm not that happy about the prospect of the woke Beatles that you described having their way with
I like too that the sometimes wrote Beatles and the Beatles.
Professional credentials. It annoys me deeply. Now, on the other hand, I'm not dependent on that license anymore. I have other tricks up my sleeve, so to speak, anyways. And at some point, I'm going to determine that being a member of their pathetic little incestuous, ideologically addled, resentment-ridden, bureaucratic, pea-brained, micro-souled club is not worth
See,
the
it's
effort.
exactly what I
And
talked about. He's right. These are clubs. You know? It's a club. I don't know how people see it. It's literally a club.
I suppose we're probably there already, but I have something to do publicly, in my delusion. And like I said, maybe I'm wrong and I should just shut the hell up and pack up and go home. But my sense, grandiose though it may be, is that these bloody colleges, regulatory boards, they pose a major threat to the free speech and free thought of all Canadians, not just professionals. Canadians can think for themselves. What sort of professional consultation are you going to be able to obtain when the people you're talking to are terrified of telling you the truth? When you bring them your 13-year-old daughter who's in major distress, who's so concerned about her body that she's thinking about sterilizing herself and having her breasts removed, and your psychologist isn't going to be able to do anything except lie to you that it's all right. How's that going to go for you? You think that through for like 15 seconds. And if you don't think that'll happen to someone in your family soon, you either don't have a family or you're deluded, because it's coming your way real soon.
Oh.
So, I feel that I have an obligation to fight this out in the public sphere. In many ways, it would be simpler for me just to tell them to go directly to hell and give up my license proudly, and not worry about this again. But I don't know. I'm not there yet. It might happen.
Michaela Pearson is. Have you seen her husband? Dude. He's kind of creepy. He's like a Chad, but like a creepy Chad. Okay, we get it. My fucking headphones are dying. Everything's dying on me. I'll throw on I'll throw on my regular headphones. Good thing this all happened on the last video. Imagine I was talking to Zach and all this happened.
I'm not there yet.
But Michaela Pearson's husband is like really weird and creepy.
Play out this farce.
He's like he's like really weird. Like he's like a Chad, but he's like a creepy Chad. He's really cute.
To its end, and I'll do that in the faith that if I conduct myself with a certain degree of honor and care, that the results won't be precisely what my would-be enemies intend. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. This is I mean, luckily you're in a position where this isn't going to crush you, but if this happened to somebody who didn't have multiple streams of income, what would they do? They'd just be re-educated and lie, I suppose. Or quit.
Well, the problem with being it's not that easy to be re-educated and lie. I mean, first of all, it's pretty hard on your soul. Second, you can't lie persistently without becoming corrupted. You can't pretend without tilting in the direction of your pretense. And so an honorable person in this situation is they're basically screwed. Like there's nothing they can really do. Because if they quit, which is what they should do, they should tell them to go to hell publicly and repeatedly. Amy Ham, the nurse in British Columbia, they've tortured her to death, and she was very afraid of them, and she's come out swinging again. So, she's got some spine, that girl.
Did she?
No.
Did she
He always says
oppo-
that. He's always like, "Oh, she's a hell of a fighter." And I was looking up because it's like Jordan Peterson talks Irish. He has an Irish like accent, and I found out that he is from like an Irish. Well, he is part Irish, and um, he's from like an Irish part of Canada. I don't remember. Gosh, she's so hot. Not just the looks, but like I guess they're not like personality. I don't know, man. I could say some negative things about her, but like I like her. Type. Like she reminds me of like the girls I used to talk to. Ash, like we would talk about like movies, life stuff, whatever it was. Then it'd be just like Ash, like I think I'm ugly. I made a problem with so and so, and I'm having a problem with. They would talk about their diet and stuff. She just reminds me of those girls that I talked to. You know, those girls I liked.
Oppose what was going on with COVID? That's her story.
Well, she really got in trouble, as I understand it, for insisting that there was a biological difference between men and women, right?
Oh.
Which is the most basic of facts, right? Of all facts, that is the most basic. If you are willing to compromise yourself on the issue of the reality of biological sex, there is no lie you won't swallow. And that's why we're being tempted with that particular proposition, because the evil system of ideas that has the woke ideologues in its clutches has, as part of its structure of implicit knowledge, the certainty that if the lie of gender fluidity, well, let's say biological sex fluidity, can be promulgated, there's no limit whatsoever. So, you know, and people, they want to delay the inevitable. If the woke mob comes knocking, they'll kowtow and apologize, and it's certainly understandable, because who the hell wants to put their family's financial security at risk, their professional license? But, you know, at some point, you can have a certain amount of hell now, or you can have way more hell later. And I've never been someone to wait around for the next wave of hell when I can just get it over with right now. You know, and I guess that's what accounts for whatever degree of combativeness I have. Is we're going to have a fight. We're going to have it right now, and we're going to get to the bottom of it. So pleasant though that will be. So I don't know, the sardonic part of me, like there's a blackly amusing element to this. It's so.
Does anybody even still watch Sardonic Cast? YMS? This is YMS and Alex talking. It's fucking
ridiculous that it's almost incomprehensible. And so I'm curious. It's like, okay, with each move, this gets, either I get more diluted or this gets darker, you know.
Chad's been at 2 viewers, and I just feel like it's just like the 2 people have this on, but aren't watching.
Depending on how you look at it, I presume it's that it gets darker, like the rot within Canada gets exposed more deeply. I mean, we've seen something similar, as I said, take place on the university front in the United States. And, you know, there are lots of people jumping up and down about that, like right now, like Bill Ackman and Christopher Rufo. And Rufo probably knows more than anyone else about how deep that rot goes. But, you know, would-be Democrats like Ackman, you know, they're shocked by Claudine Gay and the president of UPenn and MIT. It's like, if that shocked you, you guys have a lot more. You have a lot more devils to encounter in the next few months.
She reminds me of like she reminds me of like not so much anymore, but when I was younger, I had this fantasy of like I got a girlfriend that just happened to be a little autistic, and I cuddled with her. Oh, it's okay. It's okay that I like you for who you are. It's okay. And her look, the way she looks, is like exactly like what I pictured the girl, the imaginary girl looking like.
This is a big problem. You know, and Canadians, I thought about this a lot. For about 150
Do you guys know
years,
that I'm actually Canadian? I have Canadian ancestry. Anglo-Canadian ancestry, not French-Canadian, but just Anglo. So I'm like these people. What do you like? You guys
Canadians could rest assured in the essential reliability of their
I have to pee so bad right now, so I'm just let's split.
fundamental institutions. And maybe Canada foremost among countries in the world. You know, I mean, arguably the Scandinavian countries were in the same league and certain European countries, and the United States on a good day, but Canada was pretty damn stable. Kind of dull, a little hard on excellence, but reliable, orderly, stable, predictable, peace, order, and good government sort of place. And like that was 1995, boys and girls. And wherever the hell you are now, it's not there. And Canadians not only don't know that, they don't want to know that, but also they don't even know how to find out to know that, because especially the older Canadians, they're accustomed to relying on legacy news services like CBC, Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, to provide them with, you know, at least quasi-valid information. Well, forget about that. Yeah. Like, those days are gone. That ended in 2015. That's quite a while ago now. So you know, let's let the comedy roll, man. And you know, one of the things the CPO people don't understand, probably don't want to understand, is that I had to hold my tongue and bide my time while this legal action was proceeding. And now it's like, it's very dangerous to put someone in a position where they don't have anything to lose. I don't have anything to lose. The worst they can do, and this is what they'll do, is they'll take my license, and then I'll be known by those who wish to foster enmity against me as now disgraced Canadian psychologist Jordan Peterson. But what that's going to do, I believe, is bring disgrace to those who levy that epithet. It'll just undermine the validity of the designation itself. It'll undermine public trust in the idea of psychologist, in the reliability of that designation. Now, you know, that's a pretty preposterous claim, but, and maybe I'm wrong, and if I'm wrong, well, I'm willing to take the punches, but there's a reason that people bought 11 million copies of my book. The reason they bought 11 million copies of 12 Rules for Life was that they found it helpful, like psychologically helpful, which was its purpose. There's a reason that the video interviews and lectures that I produced on YouTube and released on YouTube, mostly for free, not that I haven't benefited financially from all of this, because I certainly have, and I'm not the least bit ashamed of that. In fact, I'm pretty happy about it and grateful for it and hope it will continue, and I'm striving to make sure it does. It's like, there's a reason people are watching those videos and listening. So we'll see whose reputation suffers.
What's Michaela Pearson's astrological sign?
Hopefully I won't do anything too stupid and angry along the way. And I don't think I will, because I'm actually not particularly angry. It's like, I digested all this a long time ago. I'm sad about it. I'm sad for my country.
Okay, so that's kind of why I like her. She's a Capricorn. Capricorn, yeah. Okay. Capricorns are, yeah, they're very highly compatible to me. What was I gonna say? I don't remember. No.
You know, and we've talked too. You moved. I can move to Arizona and have a heartbeat.
Yeah.
You know, my son, Julian, he's an American. He could leave. Lots of Canadians are moving. 3 times as many Canadians move to the U.S. as vice versa. We're going to be the worst performing economy in the developed world for the next 30 years by the current projections.
Really?
We make less money now in Canada on average than people in Mississippi. And sorry for everybody in Mississippi to use you as that example, but hey, you're all doing better than Canadians, so you can be happy about that. It'd be much simpler for me just to say, oh, you know, pack up all my troubles in the old kit bag and hit the road. You know, it's not like I'm not used to moving around, but I don't know. It's kind of interesting. So, and I also feel a certain moral
to me over the interweb.
You guys think he wants to fuck his sister?
Well, I like my privacy. I've always liked my privacy, but I think that's most of it. I don't really have a lot of interest in being a public person. If I am public in any way, then I generally, I'm quite sure that I prefer it to be about something that I've done. And I didn't really feel like I had done anything that was particularly, useful, let's say, to talk about to other people. And so, I have a really nice life, and I like my little family and my, the fact that it's relatively contained from the world. And, I don't really ever want to give that up, but I do have interest in sharing things that I've done that I feel like are going to be meaningful for other people, whether that is, this application, which I'm really proud of, or, the album that I released last year, although I didn't really talk about that.
We're going to talk about that.
But I think that's why mostly is I'm.
You wanted to wait till you had something to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the problem in your position is that people would be interested in you in obligation.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that you're going to continue this battle legally?
Well, we do have one avenue. There is
Nordic
one.
and like Celtic girls. Well, okay, so I'm mostly Celtic, but I like Nordic girls a lot because I think I'm like the opposite of Nordic girls. I'm still white, but I'm the opposite, so that's why I like them so much.
One appeal route left. We can appeal directly to the Supreme Court. It's a very low probability.
What? Jordan Peterson has 7 million subscribers. What the fuck? Really?
Maneuver, and another loss. Who knows, right? Because assume that gets rejected, which is the most likely psychologist. Well, first of all, once things blew up around me, my life was so complicated that I just didn't have the free capacity necessary to concentrate as diligently on my client's welfare as would have been necessary. Because when you're in a clinical session with someone for an hour, nothing that's about you is supposed to happen, right? So if you're preoccupied, well, that's not good. And plus, you'll make a mistake, especially if people are talking to you about really important things. And then also, I have to have free time outside of my practice to take phone calls and so forth, and to drop everything at the drop of a hat in case there's an emergency. You remember when you were growing up.
Oh, yeah.
How often did the phone ring during the week from a client?
In a client in rough shape. I was going to bring that up during this podcast.
Well, how
actually.
often?
If you're anywhere resembling Michaela Pearson in terms of a look or personality, please DM me right now.
I mean, I feel like there were a few clients where it might have been every day. Like, it was really
well, and
frequent.
I gave them my phone number, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you got to be all in if you're a psychotherapist. And there's just no way I could continue with that, not in good conscience, And that was really painful because I liked my clients and they liked me. And, some of them I had a relationship with that was as deep as you'd typically have with a family member, certainly. Like, you get to know people in a clinical environment maybe better than anyone else has ever known them. And if the thing goes well, those are close relationships. And so it was very painful for me and for my clients to have that all evaporate. But the writing was on the wall.
1 million views, 1.7 million. Jordan Peterson is a living legend. The scum that's after him. I'm so fucked up right now.
And when reality comes knocking, you're a fool if you turn away, regardless of what it is. So, and it's the same thing now. It's like, this looks like bad news, and it's certainly bad news for other professionals. And I think Canadian professionals who aren't woke, them flying around the world in their jets. Yep, they're the problem. Pretty obviously. That's you, Al Gore.
It's interesting that they invited him. I thought that was interesting.
It is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
weird,
right. Fair
huh?
enough. And also good. I mean, that is one of the things that, you have to give the devil his due. They did have enough gall to invite him. So you're federally, or you're a member of parliament provincially if you live in Ontario. Ask them what the hell's going on, and what they think.
Please. Michaela Peterson. Please. I'll do anything. Anything for you. Like, Queen. I'm not a submissive fucking bitch, but. Alright, I'm gonna end this live stream. Damn, she's so bad. I don't love Prussian. Look at that. Ugh. Okay, not a good photo. Oh, look at her fucking. Fuck him! Who is he? He's ugly. I'm prettier than him. He's a pretty boy. Intellectually. I know that you're my type. If you never met your fucking retarded Chad boyfriend, like, he's literally a retard. If you never met him, if you met me, you would fall for me. I know for a fact, Michaela Peterson, you would fall for me. Yep. You would definitely fall for me. Anyways, let's just end this live stream. Thanks for watching that. I'll log out. Alright, thanks. Alright, peace.